Earlier tonight, during my 9-mile drive to Mike's basement, I broke a few laws, probably more than once. I consciously set my cruise control over the posted speed limit. Also, while on my way here, I sent a text or two, sped up at a yellow light to make it through the intersection, and I've probably done worse. Years ago, I drank before I was 21. I've pissed in public once or twice. Vandalized a few cars. I tried smoking weed before it was decriminalized, but those experiences for a different show entirely. I've done worse in my life, and I'd love to tell you more about it, but the statute of limitations hasn't expired yet, so you'll just have to use your imagination. I'm sure at some point in the lives of Brad and Mike, and most definitely Craig, they've all broken the law as well. Odds are you have too. Some of you probably got caught, and fewer of you probably got in trouble for it. Sometimes we do it just because we don't know better. Sometimes we don't care, and other times we go out of our way to do it. The last couple things we can control. The first, however, is entirely different. We live in a relatively young country when compared to the rest of the world, but quite a lot has changed since we started. In the roughly 250 years since this country was founded, there have been a lot of laws and statutes enacted to govern our society. Most of them were well-intentioned. Some were reactions to stupidity, like getting too close to a jaguar at a zoo, and fewer still were enacted for the wrong reasons. There are plenty of old laws on the proverbial books that are simply ignored because they no longer apply. If we as a country recognized every legal doctrine and law ever enacted, then we should change all of our flags to go back to 49 stars, because South Carolina was never officially allowed back into the Union after they seceded. And honestly, let's look at it. We'd all be better off for that. But I digress. Let us now explore the official governance of our country with the skewed and deranged modern perspective. So, as per usual, sit back, fix yourself a wobbly pop, turn up the volume, unless you're in California, because Division 28 of the Noise Control Act restricts it, and buckle up. Maestro, hit that fucking music.
Hello, welcome back to Needless to Say. I'm Craig. I'm here with two balls and a shaft, and they're probably going to make fun of my glasses for the next fucking 10 minutes. My new glasses.
I want to be the shaft. I'm calling it. What was with that preemptive strike there? I'm going to call them a giant dick, and then I'm immediately going to explain what we were going to make fun of anyway.
I had to get on top of
What
it.
is it? That's some like weird coping mechanism?
It's like, yeah.
Where they told you, hey, you know, if you make fun of yourself first, they won't make fun of you?
Yeah.
Lies, all lies.
Best defense, good offense.
Mike's back tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back, guys.
Yeah.
Glad to have you back, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was big. Last week was fun.
And I appreciate all the great words about my family, my aunt and uncle that passed away.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Nah, no problem. How was your week? Aside from that, obviously. But
Starting a job next week.
All right.
And been drinking a lot of black coffee lately. A lot.
That's reverse racist. Just drink coffee.
No, man, no sugar, no cream. I'm telling you, pounds come off.
Are you trying to tell me that coffee was the reason you looked the way you did?
wasn't the 17 donuts you ate with that coffee?
No, I'm just, trying to pass it off as such. But anyway,
I'm not putting butter on my 7 pounds of croissant. Yeah, in the morning.
What you used to take in your coffee? Lard.
Yeah.
How do you like your coffee, sir? Fried, please.
Did you say large?
fried.
No, lard.
Deep fried coffee. It's good shit, man. But other than that, just waiting to get back to work.
Waiting to get back to work. Nice. Good.
Sucks
Good.
being board, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Suck.
Nothing
Being
worse than
bored,
being.
dude,
I would
it's the
rather
worst.
be busy doing anything than just
the worst.
bored.
You feeling
Yeah.
good about this?
Yeah.
You should, man, because,
I
in
am.
episodes 6, 19, 31.
We should just put. We should just,
Christy will break it all down
Yeah.
for us, I'm sure.
Yeah, we should break it down to like which episodes Mike was working, what job, and this job and that job. And So it's all fun.
Christie's NTS Rundown, Mike's resume episode.
Oh shit!
That's how he filled out his resume. He just went back to that to look at all the dates, start dates. Just go back and last employer.
Just go back and
I'm
listen.
still trying to get over your glasses.
So isn't everything else, dude?
You look like the sexless librarian.
It was funny. He actually went to his dermatologist to get those glasses. The only thing.
You look like the male Kennedy.
I wish we had a cricket sound effect.
It was already coming in. How was your week, Dave?
My week was all right. It started off a little strange. I felt like I went back in time because of you. I decided to watch some of the older sci-fi B movies you suggested, and I finally got to a point where I was like, I got nothing else to do. Fuck it, let's ruin another Sunday night.
Yeah, it's the best.
So I went to, I think it was Forbidden World was the first one.
Yeah.
Fucking amazeballs. It was so bad it was good.
You right?
So I got to thank you because I went right from that into another movie.
Yeah, I'd watched those both that same day as well.
What occurred to me is we talked to the Nerd Hub guys the other day, and we mentioned the length of the Game of Thrones episodes this season.
Yeah.
3 of those episodes are longer than the movies we watched the other night.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of budget we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But they were amazing. So my week started off just weird, watching those 2 movies, and it was hard to get over. But I kind of get why you like them. Like, I was watching them, and it was the sound effects and the visual effects just snapped me right back to being a kid, like in the early 80s.
That's what it is.
They were bad movies, but I still enjoyed them for that reason.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, I've always been huge into sci-fi, fantasy, all that stuff, and that's all I wanted to see when I was younger. That's all you could see, and especially if it wasn't in the theater, it was going to be playing on channel 56 on UHF. And so that's what I watched, or Penny Dreadful at night or something like that.
Feature.
Those were the shows that were gonna come on,
well,
and
with
I
those
watched
glasses,
them, and I
you can
loved
still
them.
see 1983.
He's got
This is your fault, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but I knew it was coming.
But you're right. It was for me. I was reluctant to watch them because I'm like, I know they're bad.
Yeah,
I know they're bad. But once I get into it, the first few sound effects, I was like, holy shit.
it brings you back. Yeah,
Yeah. It was pretty cool. They were fun to watch, as bad as they were. I got to watch them in peace because as soon as the opening credits started, my wife was like, fuck this. She went to bed.
yeah.
Damn. Is that all it takes? I gotta stop freaking watching freaking sci-fi.
So
shit.
to make up for it, we watched Deadpool 2 the next night.
Nice.
Which is I've seen it before, and
Yeah.
we've seen it.
Great movie.
But we're going through it, and halfway through, my wife looks at me. She goes, "I'd fuck Cable." And I kind of looked at her, and she's like, "Not Josh Brolin, but Cable." You know what I mean? And I was like, "No, but okay."
She didn't say she'd freaking do Deadpool.
The thing is, I want an iconic actor, but I also want pounds of makeup on. At that point, my legs just start going east and west.
It was probably the big robotic arm, I think, is what did it. Dude.
Yeah, arm. We'll go with that.
It
That
was
got me,
his girthy arm.
Popeye forearms.
yeah, not him, but Cable. Okay, but that got me thinking: are there characters that you guys would bone, but not actors?
Huh.
I had a few pop in my head. I'll
but
save them.
not the actors.
Yeah, like a character in a movie,
Wow,
but
that's-
not necessarily the actor.
Tootsie.
And that's our show, folks.
Needless to say, we said
Oh man, what the fuck?
I have none.
None?
I have none. I tie it back to reality. I don't know how to have fun. I thought you knew that about me.
Yeah. I've got a few maybe kickstart the conversation. It got me thinking. Right? So one of the first ones that, Yeah, one of the first. Kickstart my heart. Yeah, one of the first that I thought of was Lara Croft.
Yep.
Pick one of the last two actresses that's played her.
Yeah.
Not necessarily my type outside it, but in those roles, I'm like, okay, yeah, I could get into that.
I haven't seen the last one.
Gun strapped to the side, like,
Yeah.
leave those guns strapped on.
Oh, that's hot. That's
Hell
hot.
yeah.
But did you guys play the original Tomb Raider games?
No,
Yeah.
no.
See,
Definitely.
I
I'm
did.
old enough,
and
man.
what did Lara do every time you tried to go in a door that you couldn't go through? She'd just go, no.
Yeah.
And that's all I would hear while I was trying to fuck her. Yeah. No.
That's right.
No.
I do remember that.
Notice he said trying, not tried.
Yeah.
Just continue the efforts. So that was one for me. The other one, I kind of went the other way, and I thought Beverly D'Angelo in Christmas Vacation. She was kind of that, like,
Yeah.
kind of that hot mom kind of character, but outside of that, not a chance. There was
Yeah.
something about her that she was a little trashy, but
Good.
do you know what I
that's a
mean?
good
Like
one.
that's I
Yeah,
kind of started
definitely.
thinking that way.
I guess
Granted,
it-
now I'm not going to be able to watch that at Christmas time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that goes right to Princess Leia.
Not with other people anyway.
I would have loved to
Yeah.
bang Princess Leia. I'm not going to bang Carrie Fisher, especially not now.
Yeah, no
even
shit.
not even Princess Leia in the first movie.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You could probably.
Yeah, you're right. Definitely.
I could just imagine Craig.
You're doing it wrong.
He's the false jackass.
Part the buns and stick your tongue in.
Man, I'm so glad to be back with you guys tonight. Man, I really am. What the fuck? I
You know what's
missed it.
funny though is Brad. We didn't get to Brad's week yet, and we're going to, but it was just funny because Brad's week ended almost in the same week your last week ended with the movie recommendation. But go ahead,
Yeah.
Brad.
Actually, I did it on my own.
Yeah.
I was flipping through. My wife went to bed early, and I said, you know what? We made fun of this Birdemic movie. For those of you unaware of Birdemic, it was
Watch
long been portrayed as the worst movie ever made. Like Plan 9 from Outer Space looks like cinema verite.
Fucking Spielberg
compared to
directed
this.
it.
Yeah. And it was done on a $10,000 budget. But what a $10,000 budget should still get you is aspiring actors in California
Yeah.
that actually really want to succeed.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
probably get a lot of them for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be in a
Just
movie.
to give them a credit.
Just show up. We'll put your name in the credit.
Yeah.
That is not what happened here. He literally showed up on the street, unloaded like a station wagon, and said, yes, we're making a movie now. You're in it.
Yeah.
And he grabbed this guy who couldn't convincingly portray a computer tech salesman.
Yeah.
He didn't quite have the personality to pull off computer tech salesman.
Yeah.
You didn't have the personality to pull off much to it in that friggin' movie.
We could go into this movie for hours. I'm not going to get into all the details. Look, it's Birdemic.
Yep.
You don't see actual birds until 47 minutes into the movie. The first 46 minutes of the movie is setting up a lot of establishing shots, including one where he's sitting on an on-ramp trying to get onto a highway.
Really?
And
That's right.
just to really hammer home the drama of this moment, you stay there for at least 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
30 seconds is not a lot of time unless you're staring at bumpers.
There's a scene where he pulls off of the highway, gets gas, and gets back on the highway, and they film it. They show him get gas.
You know what? You know what just came to me? It's messed up. You know, it's kind of like Jaws. You don't see the shark until friggin'
That's what
almost
he was
towards
going
the-
for
I
right
think
there.
that's what he was going for. He was going for
No,
Jaws.
I don't think
kinda
that's
thing.
it.
Well, Brad said something to me. You thought it was fake. You thought
I think this was made in 2010, 11, somewhere around there. I think he was at the advent of the viral video craze. And I think he was trying to make a feature-length viral video that was so bad that he would get notoriety and then somebody would hire him as a goof and he would make easy money on it.
Yeah.
And I still believe it because there's no way in hell any of these people, they all have IMDb pages. All of them actually fancy themselves as actors.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Fancy.
None of them were good enough to make your company's sexual harassment video.
Yeah.
They weren't quite convincing enough, including the girl who was actually pretty hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for one scene that Craig pointed out. This guy just made $10 million in the story.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there was like a company merger, and then he got paid out on all sorts of stock options. This guy was rolling in cash. decides the first time he's going to bang this girl he met on the street, he brings her to an Econo Lodge.
Wicked bad.
And then she starts walking at the Econo Lodge, and she gets onto the bed in her lingerie because she's supposedly a Victoria's
And
Secret mom.
and she's smoking hot.
All right.
Well, she would actually. Let me cut back. The best moment of the movie was when he meets her in the diner and immediately follows her up the sidewalk, stalking her obsessively,
Yeah.
freakishly. And she goes, "Hey, it was nice talking to you. I will see you later." And then he turns around and says, "No, bitch, I'm running up the block and I'm going to." He didn't actually say it.
Yeah, but he chases
He
her.
chases
I was
after
looking
her.
at you like, that wouldn't surprise me. The way
And
this is
so
going.
they basically then have a second first conversation. And they're talking, and it's awkward and stilted, and you almost feel like they're going for that. And then at one point, she says, "I'm a lingerie model." And he goes, "Well, you must be a very hot one."
Yeah, that was his pickup line
That was it. That-
And it
A
worked
very hot one.
because he ended up saving humanity with her.
with her. Yeah.
And humanity, I might add, was threatened by what amounted to, I think, 12 birds.
Yeah, it was. It was like a flock of birds, just one flock of eagles. They were eagles and some buzzards.
Alfred Hitchcock in 1958
Blew this guy away.
made a movie with more convincing birds, and all that was Alfred Hitchcock himself throwing rubber birds at a glass window. This movie was so horrendously bad, and you know, like the logic of it. Craig and I were talking back and forth on text, and that was more entertaining than this movie.
We were
my
just
God.
dying back and forth.
All I
going,
heard all night was bling, ding.
Somehow
ding,
they
ding,
inherit
ding.
two children, and so they bring the kids into the car. The people that were watching those children are now dead.
Yep.
By virtue of sitting in the front seat. Apparently, birds hate front seats.
Well, let me tell you how those two people die. Those two people, because I have to mention this part, the dialogue written for this scene. One of the guys fell asleep in the front seat of the car. The two girls get out to go to the bathroom. So the main character's sitting up in the driver's seat, keeping an eye out, looking around. So the guy wakes up and he's like, "Hey, where's Barbara?" And he goes, "She's taking a shit."
Nice.
And that was that's exactly how it's written.
And that was my favorite part of the movie is that they were all like, "Get in the car. You're only safe in the car." And yet 2/3 of the movie is them just wandering. At one point, they have a picnic on the beach because birds won't find you there. And they managed to get away. Now, they had just passed no fewer than 6 convenience stores. Apparently, they're driving in circles. Because for all the supposed dead people around Los Angeles, they found their friends. Just dead again in the front seat of their car because birds hate front seats. And then you realize they're back at the same bar where they had their first date.
Yeah.
Like, if you're driving to get away from eagles, maybe you go where eagles don't live, like the desert. Just head to Vegas.
Yeah.
Go there, make a night of it. Okay, and then you'll find out if it's really a birdemic or just a really pissed off group of eagles. Yeah. No, they can't get off the 405 freeway. They're right back in town, and they're driving around. And then I think, that's basically how the movie ends.
Pretty much. The birds fly off into the sunset.
Inexplicably.
Inexplicably,
it takes
they
like
just go
fucking
away.
half hour to fucking happen.
And it's like 15 minutes of these birds not flapping their wings, just getting smaller on the screen off into the distance. Because eagles, they fly out to sea all the time.
I don't know if you knew
It's like
this
you
about.
took a bunch of shrinky-dink eagles and put them in the oven and filmed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got to hand it to a guy. I've never seen a movie made in Microsoft Paint before. But it was an epic feature. I watched it all the way through, but I couldn't believe that. I think my favorite scene in the movie though is they decide to have a lunchtime date at an Irish pub, Cameron's Irish pub. And out of nowhere, a random black guy just starts singing 70s soul music.
Wicked.
Fuck out of here.
It's
At an
fucking
Irish pub.
fantastic.
I didn't see that part.
How
Why?
is this movie not a joke?
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting. I think it is.
Based solely on that description, I'm thinking this is a big gag.
Now listen, when I first I thought the same exact thing until I started digging in a little research because I'm like, I want to see what other movies this, because there was a movie that he's directed 3 movies prior to that, and
Moldemic.
it was 2 movies prior to that, and one of them was like a romance called Julia and Jack. So I'm thinking it couldn't possibly be as bad as this. You know what I mean? It had to be something. And nope, it's filmed with the same camera, with written the same dialogue. So I started digging into who this guy is, figuring he's got to be doing this on purpose. And, you know, and Brad said it, and I thought so, and he's not. This guy is 100% serious.
Yeah, some people just say
What it
what
is,
they
he's,
do, man.
he's from He's from Vietnam. His name is James Nguyen, or I'm not sure.
It's
how-
Nguyen. It's
Nguyen,
pronounced
yeah.
Nguyen.
All right, I didn't know how to pronounce
It's
it.
like
but-
Smith over there.
Yeah. So he came here. He came to the United States, and he became a software salesman, which all the males in all the movies he directed are software salesmen. Right?
Fucking Adam Sandler of Vietnam, this guy.
Right? But he came here and he filmed the first movie because he quit and he wanted to do film. But his biggest inspiration was Alfred Hitchcock. That's all he watched. So that's why Birds, like, he was obsessed with that. And he kind of made that movie was like a homage to Alfred Hitchcock, which he fucking just ruined it.
Good thing Alfred's dead, I'll
Yeah,
tell you that.
exactly. That guy was rolling in his grave like a motherfucker. But
I would haunt that guy worse than Agent Orange.
so now he was been trying to get this movie. He was trying to get Julia and Jack got. He sold it to some company as a thing, like, and nothing ever happened with it. It never got distributed. You know, nothing.
Or even distributed.
Distributed. Sorry, I was thinking distribution company. I'm sorry, but he distributed. It never got distributed. I wrote the dialogue for Birdemic. And,
Are you sure Birdemic wasn't a biopic?
yeah. But he. So, but the thing was, he went to the Cannes Film Festival with Birdemic. Cannes. A lot of people call it Cannes Film Festival.
A lot of people in this room. Everywhere else, it's
Cannes Film Festival.
It's a porno fucking film festival.
That's Mike's film festival.
Yeah, that's my festival.
They
man.
show
I love
movies
that
on a big sheet in a refuse yard. Fucking Charlie's work is a Cannes Film Festival.
So he went
Okay.
and he went in the van that they use in the movie. That's his van. The caravan. That's his vehicle.
Wait, it was actually a quality 1987 Ford Aerostar.
Yeah, with the paint peeling off, like all the clear coat was peeling off on it.
And I thought that was intentional, like the world had just gone to hell. But the best part, I'm cutting you off though. You brought up the best point of all. At one point, they're like running and they're on the beach and they speak to an old man, and the old man's telling them all the reasons. Like they basically said, we've got X amount of film left. We have to get every bit of this story out. So the old man just had all the gaps to fill. He just explained everything. But Craig pointed out to me, he's like, there's a dude in the background walking his dog on the beach.
There's a guy in the background.
Oh, I gotta
There's
see
all
that
this
again.
chaos going on in the world. There's a guy with his dog walking on the beach in the background.
It was great because, like, while they're filming this movie, like Pedigree is filming a dog food commercial right back there at the same time. It was one of the traffic was normal.
Yeah, the traffic. Yeah, traffic.
Both
is
directions.
complete-
You don't see anybody trying to get the fuck away from there. They're like, no, we're driving back. In. There's a special at Cameron's Irish Pub.
But so he went to the film festival and he made a bunch of flyers up and he created a website for the movie, like, you know, trying to promote it. He created a website for the movie and he made a shitload of flyers and he handed them out and he spelled it wrong.
Come on.
He spelled it with he forgot the R, so he spelled it Bidemic on the flyers and handed them out at the festival. So he got no traffic on his website, and he ended up paying to rent out a bar to show the movie in. They never showed it in any theaters or anything like it. Was rented. He rented a bar himself to show the movie in, and he was dead serious, and he was trying to sell it.
I'm
And
starting to feel bad for him now.
I know, man.
And what happened was,
I don't feel bad at all.
and what happened
I
was,
did watch it.
the people that went to the bar and saw it,
They loved it.
Word started to spread about how bad it was, that it was hilarious, and a couple of people approached him. This very small distribution company approached
I wish
him,
you could all see how proud of himself he just was then.
and he
I also wish you could see the veins popping out of his head. That took effort.
and they got him, and they showed it in a few. They did like a theater opening, and they showed it in a few theaters like San Francisco, New York, a couple places where they had screenings with the actors there and stuff, and people were rolling in the aisles, like laughing about this movie, and he was kind of upset about it.
That must have been devastating.
And yeah,
man.
he was like upset about that.
I
And
don't
they ended
care
up
if you're from Vietnam or not. Wooden acting is wooden acting. I can tell. If I watch
Yeah.
an Asian film, I know who's a good actor and who's a bad actor.
yeah.
Because there's emotions. And this guy literally goes up to this girl and says, "Nope, you're not getting away. I'm going to chase you down the sidewalk," walking at a deliberate pace, I might add.
He makes $1 million sale, right?
Oh yeah, that's one
And
of the best.
he hangs up the phone, throws his arms up in the air, and he goes, "Yes!" And then puts his hands both on the desk on the side of his keyboard and just sits there staring straight ahead in dead silence. He's like, "Yes!" Dead silence.
Waiting for the
Fucking no emotion.
Vietnamese word for
Yeah.
cut. And it never happens.
Hey, in their defense, though, I don't think Vietnamese people pronounce their R's, so that's probably the mix-up with the freaking with the no R's on the thing. I don't think they really do.
That was clearly the biggest problem with this movie.
But yeah,
The lack of consonants.
the other movies are identical. They're exactly the same. And a matter of fact, the guy from Birdemic is in the other. I think in the other movie, Replica, it's called. And they're all same premise. Like they're romantic horror movies.
That's a romantic
yeah,
horror
that's
movie.
what
Is that
they're
what that's
supposed to
First
be.
47 minutes of this movie is this guy stalking
Courting
this
this
girl.
woman.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Her mother,
know.
like, honestly, I wanted to rip the wig off this woman and beat her with it.
Yeah.
She was better than the other ones. She was the most convincing actor there. Other than, well, the convenience store owner acted like a real convenience store owner. But I think they went into a convenience store and said, "Yes, you're in this movie now."
Yeah.
Okay, sir, just buy something.
Well, they
Must buy.
go to get gas. They go to this convenience store. Now there's this birdemic happening. They race up to this convenience store. The door of this convenience store is wide open, and the guy's still behind the counter working.
No
The
birds
last
came in for
convenience store
anything.
they were at, there was a dead dude behind the counter.
Yeah.
But not this guy. No, he's like, "Fuck you, bird."
Yeah, and they try to buy gas from him, and he's like, "Well, since the birdemic has started,
Which
he's
nobody
like,
had used the word up until that point.
yeah."
But
And he said,
convenience
since the
store guy?
birdemic started, he's like, I had to raise my prices, so he charges him $100 a gallon for gas.
That's amazing.
at this point, people are still casually driving in and out of town.
Yeah,
Nobody has declared a state of emergency anywhere.
no one.
But he's up to $100 a gallon for gas.
Yeah.
And again, the door wide open, just inviting eagles to come in and just claw his eyes out.
$100 a gallon. Holy shit! What's Obama in office?
But now
again?
keep in mind the timing.
Wow.
But keep in mind the timing. They just passed a convenience store, and then like not 5 minutes down the road, they're like, "Oh crap, we need food."
Yeah.
They were just at a convenience. Now, granted, at those prices,
Yeah. No shit.
I don't know if I want to pay that much for Little Debbie.
For.
But
Yeah.
they don't find any food in the back of the car. They do find a fishing pole and a camping stove.
And a camping stove and a pan.
And so I'm like, why don't you just go, like, you got a gun, just go rob a convenience store and feed these children. But no, we can go fishing. Because again, you're outdoors. The eagles won't find you there.
What was the first thing I texted you about those kids?
I'd leave them for death.
I was like, I would have left those kids to die. They were little pains in the
Of course
asses.
you would.
I mean, if I'm a kid and my mother just died, I don't think like a Game Boy is going to excite me that much. Not these kids.
Yeah, they were fired up.
They somehow grabbed the soccer ball.
But
Where
there was
a soccer ball.
There's a part where they pull back in to save. They notice that a bus is under attack. A double-decker bus is under attack by birds.
Like somehow a bus from London ended up in L.A.
yeah.
no
So
shit,
they pull up. Now all these people are inside the bus against the glass.
And
like,
who
"Help
sponsored the
us."
bus, might I add?
What's that?
Who sponsored the bus?
Was it Cameron's
It was
Pub?
Cameron's Irish Pub.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So they're inside. They're yelling. Now the birds are at the windows of the bus, like banging against the glass, and all these people are like, "Help us! Help us!" So they saved them by getting out and firing automatic weapons directly at the bus.
No way.
Just gunning down the birds, like spray and pray at the bus.
Spray and pray.
I'm like, how many rounds did they just fire at that bus?
No one hurt. All birds.
At birds.
There had to be 200 clips used in this movie.
Oh,
And nobody ever reloaded.
never. But we watched them get gas in the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And shit on an on-ramp.
Yeah.
That's fucking
But
ridiculous.
anyway, we should get off of this movie.
Yeah, we
Like,
should go on.
but-
We should just freaking go on forever.
But
on
watch
Birdemic.
it. It's called Birdemic. You can if you type it in the search on Fire TV,
Leave out
Amazon
the R.
Fire TV, you'll get it.
The R.
Yeah. You can get it there. I know it's there for free. So other than
really?
that, yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
Actually, I've
If-
seen it on YouTube too.
Is it on YouTube too?
If
So you
somebody
can-
asks you to pay for this, I
Don't.
think you know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's on YouTube.
I
too.
saw it
Check
on
it out,
Popcorn
though.
Flicks, and I actually had commercial break. So at one point, Craig got ahead of me, and he's
Yeah.
starting to comment. I'm like, "You're spoiling." Oh wait, never.
Yeah, he's like, oh wait. He's like, yeah, never mind. But
and so that was my week.
Well, that's how your week ended, right?
Basically, the only thing I had from this week, I watched Smallville again. At this point,
And you're done. All right, so
Yeah, no doubt, man. Holy shit.
oh no, he's right. He's right. The one thing I do have to say about this week, I'm getting very annoyed that my own wife doesn't laugh at anything I say on this show. We have our ritual. We listen to the show before it goes live. We get like first dibs at it, and we'll listen to it. My wife will sit there and smirk, and then the instant Craig and Dave talk, she's in stitches. And then when Dave shits himself, she's on the floor.
I called it that she was going to love the end of that episode.
Well, if it involves feces, it involves my wife. So, there you go. If there was ever a woman truly meant to be a mom, it was her. But I'm hoping this week she might actually crack a smile at something I say for a change. Cue the aw.
oh,
All right, so this show is about laws, right?
I think so.
I think so.
Right.
Bird law. Oh, it's always sunny in Philadelphia. Charlie's you ever watch that? He's an expert in bird law.
Yeah, no, we were going to get into laws. What spawned it, I think we had a headline from last week that was hanging out, and as
Yeah.
we wrapped up the show, we kind of caught it like, oh shit, we need to talk about this because it's almost too good.
Yeah.
And it kind of just spitballed into a conversation about where we're going to take the rest of the show, I think. But
Yeah.
Craig, it was a headline you found, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe? No?
It was Brad.
It was Brad. Oh.
Brad. It was Brad, yeah.
I have a Google alert for fornication. And so, sure enough, it was a dry spell, 2-3 weeks without anything. And then, bing, this came up. Fornication will no longer be illegal in Utah. Now, right away, my first reaction was there's 93 kids per family. How could it be illegal? What they meant to say was that fornication outside of marriage, meaning, like fun sex before it becomes work,
Yep.
Yep.
sex you don't feel obligated to do on a Saturday night when it's raining and you got nowhere else to go. Yeah. And so for the state of
Damn, that
Utah has
sucks,
decided
dude.
that you can go out
Sorry, man.
to a coffee shop because they also don't have bars there. Honestly,
Yeah.
fuck Utah. But fornication's not allowed, and I'm convinced this is entirely the work of the Utah Jazz.
Family reunions are going to start to get interesting.
Because all the kids look like the Utah Jazz.
Did you guys? Everybody read the article?
Yeah.
They actually worded in there that adultery and sodomy are okay now in Utah. Pack it up, boys. We're fucking doing the show in Utah, man.
It's no
Hell yeah.
fun when they use the word sodomy, though. That makes it seem wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Right, yeah.
Right.
A little navigation in the poop chute is great.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes it seem fun and playful. Even exciting if you just fucking relax.
Butt stuff is better.
Butt stuff is great. Butt stuff. Nothing better than, doing the dishes and saying, hey, you want to do butt stuff tonight?
My first thought was like a lawyer standing in front of a judge explaining, Your Honor, They were just out having some drinks, doing some butt stuff. That's how it's legally written.
The judge looking back at him, waving a middle finger. Was it this kind of butt stuff? Court is adjourned.
So Adam and Eve is opening their first Utah location.
Jim McMahon's going back to college.
You could buy really sexy Mormon underwear there. Have you guys heard about the Mormon underwear?
No.
Basically, the Mormons have to wear a special undergarment. It's basically like a one-piece. It looks like a onesie that you put on a baby, but they put it on adults.
There's no buttons, though.
There's no buttons. You got to slip it on, but this whole thing it's literally covering you.
Oh, so it looks like a 1920s bathing suit
It looks
almost.
like it looks like AC Slater's singlet from when he used to wrestle.
Oh my god.
Singlet.
Holy shit.
Without the curls. That's what the jazz.
That's right. This is already a group of people that thinks God made an editing mistake and left out an entire chapter.
Yeah.
So, whatever. But they have their own underwear. I'm pretty sure my wife is very good friends with a Mormon, but I know he ain't listening. Yeah. So this is me giving less than a shit about what he has to say. And honestly, I don't think he wears that shit anyway.
Yeah.
But back to your joke. Yeah, Adam and Eve is making sexy Mormon underwear.
That's why everybody can have 14 wives, right? Can't they? Is that the Mormons?
Well, they won't need it now because you can go fuck somebody
Yeah.
without a fucking
Well,
legal
that's what I'm-
statute.
You don't need
Yeah.
to marry him to bang
And
him
the poop
anymore.
shoe even.
All right, so that's a dumb fucking law.
It is.
But because we are who we are and most of us are working,
Should be able to take it in the ass anytime you want.
I think
agree.
I think that's a universal law. All right, so basically we, because we are who we are and none of us really care about our jobs, we just, except for Mike, who's starting a new job.
man.
Mike cares a fucking lot right now.
I care more about Mike's job than my own at the moment.
You also care more about Mike's job than Mike does.
You guys should care more about the people that I'm going to be working with than the fucking
Well, we decided to go look into something that the internet has covered 1,000 times over, but we've never done it here. Stupid state laws.
Yeah.
And actually, we even went international this week, but we'll get to that. But I figured, why not start local, work our way out, and see if people are getting stupider when you head south? Or if actually people down south think we're just as fucking dumb.
Yeah.
We're just looking for solid proof now. It's common knowledge.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
All right, so let's start. Dave is a resident masshole. So let's start with Dave.
Dave's not a masshole.
I grew up in Massachusetts.
Oh, you
yeah.
grew up. That's right. You grew
Yeah.
up in Massachusetts. Yep.
Yep.
That's right.
Which is weird to people because I live right now 3 miles from where I grew up in a different state. It's just
Yeah.
a strange concept to a lot of
Yeah,
folks.
it is. It's tough around. People don't get that.
I tried to explain to folks when they would come into town for work. Like we were in the middle of Massachusetts, and I said, "Listen, if you drive an hour in any direction from where we are, you're in a different state."
Yeah.
A lot of folks come from Texas. I'm like, if you drive 8 hours from anywhere in Texas, you're still in fucking Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
I was once on a train going to California from Houston, and I took a long nap. And I woke up and we were still in Texas.
Still in Texas, yeah.
I thought they'd cut it through the panhandle just to make it interesting. Hey, here's New Mexico. Nope. No.
Went right through the meat.
So what we're trying to say is, hi, Matt.
Yeah. So in Massachusetts, one of the things I used to have to explain to folks is, listen, when you guys go out to the bars, there's no happy hour.
Yeah.
That's one of the rules in Massachusetts. There's no drink specials, which translates to no happy hour.
No happy hour. Yeah.
And they kind of blew their mind. I'm like, it's fine. Just order extra beers. You'll be
Yeah.
do just as much damage without the fun title.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same in Rhode Island. You can't have a drink special in Rhode Island unless you offer it every day for 30 days. So, most bars won't even bother at that point.
Yeah.
That's the point.
If there's a promotional thing, you can do some type of drink special related to that. Has to end the instant the promotion ends. So there's all sorts of rules and regulations, and what I've noticed is that nobody around here seems to fucking care.
No.
Well, it's so used
Drink
to not dealing with this. Yeah.
Speaking of drink specials, I would like to highlight the fact that Mike
Mike
is
bought the
drinking beer tonight and not Bud Light.
Yeah,
Yep.
whatever.
And it was all here. I counted. It was
Yeah.
all here when we got here.
It wasn't. The other 30 packs upstairs. I got another one.
So you think. It's not like you're going to outrace me. Don't try.
Fuck you,
But
Brad.
in Massachusetts,
I love you, brother.
children can also smoke,
But
but they can't buy cigarettes.
it's amazing.
They can't
That
purchase,
is
so they can
fucked
have
up.
their mom buy them a pack of butts.
My 3 kids can hang out at my parents' house and crank butts.
Just smoking.
9, 7, and 1.5.
Yeah, just smoking
Have at
butts
it.
on the porch.
Yeah.
Just have the little guy just start tapping them down.
Packing them on a Zippo lighter.
My parents totally frowned upon me smoking when I was young. Now, like drinking moonshine and beers and everything else, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But
You're not smoking. Drink this.
You're not-
Pour
Yeah.
this liquid fire down your throat. I don't think I could let my little kid smoke around my dad. He'd end up having Vietnam flashbacks. Bunch of little kids smoking around him.
But I think Mass needs to catch up to Utah
Why is that?
because it's illegal for a woman to be on top during sexual activities in Massachusetts.
Wait,
Yeah.
Dave moved 3 miles.
Yeah, he would have never had sex with a live woman. He would have been charged with murder like fucking every time he had sex.
Damn it.
I'll say that
what's up with that one?
that sideways 69 you do where you put the camera on the ceiling. There, that
Is that
makes
38?
good and it's compliant. And that's important.
You're right, though. It benefits living in Rhode Island. Just 2 nights ago, my wife came home shit-faced. Went out with one of her girlfriends, came home drunk, and I'm sleeping in bed. She comes in, loses her clothes, and dives across me. Like, perpendicular across my body. Just fuck you, Craig. And she just says, my wife, she lays across me and she goes,
Brad,
I just
open your
want your
eyes.
dick in me.
Shit. All right, you can go to
Right
sleep.
to snoring.
Go to
Right-
sleep.
So my
See ya.
wife comes home, gets drunk, passes out on me, then tried to rape me.
No shit.
Yep,
Fucking
after
A.
she was asleep.
Brad, you can open
But
your eyes
she was
now.
on top.
He's like,
So I was
On
allowed
to
to
the
do it.
next.
That was purely for Craig's benefit.
nice. No, that was for all our benefit, dude. Thank you.
I don't know why we're changing the topic. I think we should stay on the subject of Craig's cousin.
No. I've been
Yes.
staying on her for years.
Nice. And still she breathes.
A little wheeze now, but she's good.
Moving on.
You've been staying on it for years. That's because you're not in Mass. If you were in Mass, you'd
I'll
be in
change the
trouble.
subject for Craig. I know. Yeah, my favorite one in Mass, honest, is it's dated. Quakers and witches are banned. Yep. We've all heard about the Salem witch trials.
Yes.
But fuck Quakers too while we're at it. Them
exactly.
before the witches. That was
Yeah.
my favorite part.
The funny thing is, go to Salem. It's just loaded with witches.
Not a Quaker around.
Not a Quaker in sight. But
Fucking Quakers.
Love their oats.
like I was just gonna say, unless it's on a box of
Fucking
oatmeal.
the one that you may not sell toothpaste and a toothbrush to the same customer on a Sunday. I can totally fucking see that. If Craig, you know a lot of my cousins. I could see that.
Well,
Why
they're,
that fucking
they're not
Oh, that's
purchasing
a lot.
it.
Just straight up
The
not
issue.
buying
They're
it.
just not buying it.
If Mike's family
They're
shows up
compliant.
looking for toothpaste and a toothbrush, they say something's up. They've been
They're
kidnapped.
compliant Monday through Sunday.
Only a select few of my family.
So you got to physically bring 2 people in. One person buys the toothbrush, another one buys the toothpaste. Only on Sunday, though.
Yeah.
On Saturday, total debauchery.
I know what's funny is the one thing with your cousins is actually named properly. Toothbrush.
Toothbrush.
Not a teeth brush. It's a toothbrush. It's actually named exactly the way
Brush
it
my
should
tooth with Chris.
Specificity is key with these laws because Rhode Island has the best worded law of all. Is there any marriage where either of the parties is either A, an idiot, or B, a lunatic, is considered null and void.
I'm fucking psyched, man. I am no
Theoretically,
longer
nobody
married.
at this table is actually married. I actually got married in this state. My marriage license has the state of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations right on
Yep.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
because the biggest state, the longest name, or
Yeah.
smallest state,
Yeah.
longest name.
Big-
Fuck jokes.
We already did the Tourette's thing a couple weeks ago.
That's it. I'm gonna hand this off to Mike. Since you love North Carolina so much, read the next one.
North
Craig,
Carolina.
Put the cursor there so we can read it.
If a man and a woman who aren't married go to a hotel/motel and register themselves as married, then, according to state law, they are legally married.
You imagine that?
Imagine that.
Imagine not knowing that.
Guys want to go spend the night at the motel?
Oh no, they don't allow that kind of marriage.
All right. Yeah, it's North Carolina. That's right.
Could you imagine that though, leaving your
I'd be
entire
fucking-
future up to a Motel 6?
I'd be married. If that's the case, I'm married
We
like
have the
fucking
documents
19
right
times
here.
over, man. What the fuck?
We've got the documents to prove it.
We got the documents to
They
prove we
pull
have
a
a motel
fucking-
receipt.
A log from fucking Motel 6. Slap it on the counter.
Fucking honeymooned at Waffle House.
My marriage license is a fucking Motel 6 receipt. Oh my god.
It was a great honeymoon. Everywhere we went, we could see the highway.
Marriage song was a jukebox version of Achy Breaky Heart.
Just had to be a jukebox version.
Yes. Have you been to Waffle House?
But in order to hear it, you had to slide a freaking quarter into the slot to hear it.
But
I'm gonna try
South
that
of the
tonight to
bed.
get laid. Maybe that's how my marriage will get sparked.
Yeah, that whole marriage is smothered, covered in dice, just like that fucking food.
So South Carolina, we're traveling
That-
a little south
Yeah,
of.
We
that's why I went
skipped
to.
a whole bunch of states. So how do none of us grab New York, New Jersey?
Well,
New
that's
Jersey's gotta have some
that's your
fucking
realm.
law.
Come on, man.
We didn't get there. We didn't
We
get
might
there.
have some down here.
We've got
but
plenty of states
We've
left,
got
plenty
plenty.
of episodes. We're
It's
good.
illegal to give or receive oral sex in South Carolina.
Really?
Yep, and that's why Christie's tips have been so low.
Oh yeah! Shout out
they
to
enforce
Christy.
that?
Love you, Christy. Just
We
joking.
love you. It's fucking funny shit, man.
Oh my god!
Now and that I like. Every adult
No.
male must bring a rifle to church on a Sunday in order to ward off Indians.
How are these laws stacked in terms of importance though? This is what I want to know. Like, what if I show up at church on time with a firearm, but my mouth is just glazed?
Yeah.
And the woman that came with me smiling ear to ear. What happens then? Do I does one cancel out the other?
Yeah,
Is it
no
a good
shit,
deed
right?
thing?
Yeah.
I don't really know, but I can't imagine how they ever expected to enforce it. Even back in the colonial days when there wasn't a whole lot of other noise going on and there wasn't TVs and traffic.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe you hear the neighbors from a quarter mile away moaning a little bit, but honestly, how are you going to enforce this shit? Why are they making these laws? I get there were ethical standards and things that we
Yeah,
done
fuck
back
yeah.
then.
Do.
I don't know. And
A lot just being down south. A lot of it stems from religion,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Well,
Definitely.
yeah.
No
Exactly.
matter how fucked up
way
it
to
was at the
properly
time,
behave.
'cause
Yeah,
look at
that's the
these
way it
friggin'
was.
it's
laws.
illegal to elect a sheep mayor in the state of Maryland, and
Yeah.
that's 3 hours from New Jersey. Like,
Bad law. And a bad joke to go with it.
oh my God! Thanks to Dave, edited out.
I mean, things like you can't keep a horse in a bathtub.
Yeah, I guarantee
Like
you
someone
can't.
did it.
Yeah.
It
Guarantee
caused some
you
kind of
can't.
problem.
You can't.
Well, it
do
goes back to what we said last week.
Yeah.
They have to write "do not eat" on the silicone packets in a box of shoes because somebody did it.
But who got caught having oral sex in South Carolina and someone said, no, never again?
No, my
Write
wife
this
won't-
down.
My wife won't do that, so you ain't getting it either.
That's basically it's the ministry. It's like I ain't getting any, and neither are you.
Yeah,
I thought you
exactly.
were gonna say my wife ain't doing that to you again. We're passing a law.
By the way, where's your gun, Jeb?
Yeah, no shit.
I would love to see that. I obey the law. You get thighs in stereo.
But this is the best. And the funny thing is, these laws are still on the book.
still
That's
there.
the thing.
Yeah.
Is they haven't been what's the word I'm looking for?
Overhauled.
Abolished or
Redacted,
redacted,
Yeah.
or amended would be.
Well, no, amended means you're going to add to
You're
it.
going to add to it.
Overhaul.
Yeah.
So you can't have oral sex like with like Dracula teeth.
Yeah, with braces.
Yeah.
I vote for that.
If it's that should be a law.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Yet those videos very popular.
I don't know, man.
Thinking about
There
that.
are a lot of skilled chicks out there that you wouldn't even know they have
But
fucking.
this is a great one.
one.
And Christy, I want you to do this.
She's gonna fucking hate
She
you. after
turned
this
she turned it
episode.
off, dude. She's already out making more money.
Yeah.
She looks at this as a learning experience. She
Yep.
just started a new thing down there called Boober.
Yeah.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
I wanted to do this. It says, in South Carolina, when approaching a four-way blind intersection in a non-horse driven vehicle, you must stop 100 feet from the intersection and discharge a firearm into the air
I do that all
to
the time.
warn horse traffic.
I do that going to Walmart. So, yeah. It's fucking awesome. That is ridiculous, though, huh?
So right now, technically, she could stop 100 feet from a red light, fire a gun into the air, and then proceed. And when she got pulled over, be like, what? I did exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Well, that's the thing. All these laws will stay on the books until there's a huge controversy over it, and then something has to be done. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I want
They're not gonna
Christie's police report tomorrow, or the day after this show is released. Anyway, all right. So I was blowing my passenger and driving, and then I fired a gun in the air just to make sure there were no horses in the area. Now, she's not in South Carolina, but I'm pretty sure as you head south, I don't think Georgia's a whole lot better.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Call it
man.
a hunch.
She's fucking funny.
That's right, Christy. I talked about you blowing a passenger. Tips are gonna roll.
So before we move on, at Brad's request, I've looked up a couple of New York laws.
Thank you.
All right.
So, so just in case you guys were wondering, the penalty for jumping off a building in New York is death.
Could you imagine surviving it and be like, "Fuck"?
And the judge is like, "I ordered you to die." Yes.
Yeah. Score one for the team. Yeah.
Ching.
Finish it off.
I like this one. The irony in this one's great. New Yorkers cannot dissolve a marriage for irreconcilable differences unless they both agree to it.
Holy shit.
And that's why it fucking rules.
And the last one I think worth noting is that women may go topless in public, providing it's not being used as a business. Sorry, Christy, Boober is out in New York.
Too much traffic.
Until you turn the lights off.
So technically, people could walk around Central Park with their tits out,
Yeah? As long as they're not making money off of
as
it.
long as they're not making money off of it.
There was
But
something.
the caveat to that is the instant somebody complains,
Yeah.
it then becomes indecent exposure.
Yeah.
And because New Yorkers are New Yorkers, they will always complain.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Because
my God.
let's look at a pair of tits. Okay,
Well,
there's a
you're from
homeless
there?
guy pissing right over there. We're good with that.
Yeah.
That's nature. That's his unfortunate plight. But those breasts over there, they're offending my child who used to eat from them, I might
What the
add.
fuck?
In broad daylight,
with people?
I saw a guy laying down in a shopping cart filled with like clothes and bags and stuff. He was laying across the top of the shopping cart with no shoes on, but socks, but without the toes, almost like cartoons.
Yeah.
Like, you know, with his
Yeah.
tips of his feet sticking out,
Yeah.
smoking crack. Just laying there, puffing on a crack pipe.
Why not?
In broad
At
daylight.
least he's got his priorities straight.
Yeah.
Fuck them socks, man. I'm getting another dime.
If I smoke enough, I won't feel my toes. Fuck.
Craig, the fucking Washington one, dude. That's all you, bro.
We're not there yet. We need to go over the bridge to New Jersey first and head down the Parkway before we get down to the south again. So in New Jersey, I don't know if you guys have been there, but you can't pump your own gas.
No, I know that. Yeah.
So right, that's kind of it's kind of a weird law, right? But
and
also,
they're trying to change it, and people are freaking out.
Why?
yeah, who cares?
Yeah,
It's
no
probably
shit.
the gas stations.
It's probably an insurance thing.
I'm sure there's some weird
Well,
thing.
it's
Or
the most
contract.
densely populated state in the union. There's more drivers in New Jersey per capita than anywhere else.
Really?
And I think that it's actually a viable source of income for a lot of people because of that. And I think that they're trying to keep people employed.
Not just that.
Well, there you
Actually,
go.
now that
Yeah.
you bring that up, now that with the population so high, maybe they want to get people their gas and get the fuck out of there instead of people sitting on their fucking cell phones.
There's probably
and
also a
fucking doing that.
tremendous instance of people driving off with the hose still attached because it's still
seen that
fucking New
before.
Jersey. What's that? I can't make a left turn. I need a jug handle to do that.
I mean, it's a great law for millennials. They're used to not doing anything for themselves anyway,
Yeah,
so this
shit.
works.
There you
That's
go.
right. And then bitching about student loans and avocado toast along the way. Fuck them all.
So I'm curious to see if this law is depicted in the upcoming Sopranos prequel show.
Yep.
It's apparently illegal to wear a bulletproof vest while committing a murder.
Well, it's a difficult situation.
I think they're nothing but fair. I think that's what they're going
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
Even the odds, right?
You're going to murder somebody. Hey, step up, man.
Yeah.
That's it. Be a man.
Judge, give me a break. At least I wasn't wearing a bulletproof vest when I freaking blew his head off. That's great.
And I think the most important one that I found in New Jersey is that you may not slurp your soup. I'm good with that one.
I was going to
definitely
say
good
that
with
leads to
one.
murder.
Dave's moving to New Jersey.
I'm set.
I can see Dave frustrated in New Jersey there because he's driving down like a 2-lane road and there's a bulletproof vest store right on the left, but no jug handle. He can't get there.
But he sees toothpaste and a toothbrush at the same time, and he can't freaking
Gets
find
held
either
up
one.
by some prick trying to pump gas as slow as possible.
It's just a little different threats down there as a dad. You know, up here you start doing something wrong, your dad starts taking his belt off. You're like, oh shit, he's gonna whip my ass. Down there, my kid starts slurping his cereal. Be like, I'm taking off the vest.
Don't make me take this vest off.
This is a law-abiding house. Do you know what I hate about New Jersey? It's that New Jersey doesn't have its own identity. There's outside New York, outside Philadelphia, and Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing to New Jersey that's actually authentic New Jersey. All the Jersey people will tell you the shore. Guess what? The entire east coast of the United States
is the shore.
Also the shore.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about your polluted beach.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. I've vacationed there. I have family there. God bless
They're
them
like
if
the
they're listening.
crappiest Keystone ever fucking made. Like,
You know, I heard the best description of Jersey once when I was in college. I had a buddy from there, that area, and it was his dad. He said, you know, Jersey's there just to keep the water away from Philadelphia.
And God knows they smell like it too.
Yeah. So Chris G, if you're listening, your dad gave that to me.
I have managed to insult my wife's entire family in one segment.
Yep.
And we're still in the Northeast.
Well, no, but yeah, I know. But she's from Philly.
Oh, shit.
And so I've already called them unbathed. And it's true. Your water's brackish as fuck. Showering there is a chore.
I'm sorry. I think you meant to say Wooder.
Wooder. Yeah. Wooder.
Schuylkill punch. But then you go to Jersey, and honestly, like, your water is the same water that pollutes New York. Don't try to tell me that because you're a half hour down the turnpike that all of a sudden it's beautiful and white sand beaches. Fuck off. Dolphins die here. Such trash. But yeah, but then you go to like Western Jersey and the Pennsylvania border, and you get like Amish communities.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so you're still not doing your own thing. What is a Jersey person? It's a Goomba. It's Staten Island overflow. They got lost.
Yeah.
They're on the Outer Bridge crossing, and they got crossed up. Yeah, that was it.
Waiting room for New York.
That's it.
yeah, exactly.
They're
The
waiting to
room
get
for
into
New York.
Staten Island.
Wow, that's a great.
They're in the
analogy.
lobby for for the Northeast.
New Jersey, the waiting room of New York. Oh my god, dude, that's fucking great.
That's brilliant.
Move on to
That
a
is
classier state.
Oh, well, yeah, now that Matt's left and moved to Texas.
Virginia. Yeah.
What are the IQ numbers now that he's gone? They skyrocket.
They hit double digits.
The averages went up in both places.
Yeah, at the school.
In Virginia, if you're not married, it states it's illegal for him to have sexual relations. So can a woman do it?
Yes, and that's how they're stopping the breeding. And I think this is a really smart play.
So it's illegal for a man to have sex if he's not married.
Do you know what? A sentence you'll never hear. Mommy, where did I come from? Well, me and your other mom were scissoring. That never happened.
But you know what?
Never happened.
That was established by a Virginia congressman who's like, I'm married and I want to bang that single secretary I got.
Hell yeah, man. I'd be making up all kinds of laws, man.
I'm going to
if I
make
was in
it
the
so
position.
that I can't have sex if I'm not married, but she can.
What if you're on the bottom, which is illegal in Massachusetts? What if you're on the bottom and you're not doing anything and she's doing all the work? Is she having sex and you're not?
Oh,
See?
Ooh, a wrench in the machine.
Laws need to be revised.
Well, you see, Your Honor, my client was just laying there, not participating.
He had no idea. What happened was his wife came home shit-faced drunk and fell on top of him horizontally and yet still expressed a desire.
You know what? It's funny because a lot of they followed suit with Massachusetts because you're not allowed to have oral or anal sex.
Yep.
In Virginia. And not only is it illegal to have sex with the lights on, you can't have lights on when you're having sex. One may not have sex in any position other than missionary.
So essentially, only married people can have sex missionary in Virginia.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's pretty much all married people are doing anyway. There's another sentence you'll never hear. Let's celebrate our 20th anniversary by you grabbing me from behind. Grab my wrinkly, saggy tits and dog me, baby.
Oh,
He wonders why his wife never laughs at his
I was just going to say, you're waiting for your wife to laugh, huh? I don't think she's going to laugh at that one, bro.
Ain't been married 20 years yet.
Well, listens at home.
shit.
That's why. That's why, idiot.
She's going to say it almost like that, but it's just she's going to grab a full beer and hit me in the head with it. No, my wife, I'm not being sexist here, she throws like a girl. like in the most stereotypical sense. She will connect on this one. Yeah. She could look like Aaron fucking Rodgers on this one.
This one moment times turns into Randy Jackson. No, Randy Jackson. That's
Melissa,
not right.
please don't slap him when you.
Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson.
Randy
Yeah,
Johnson.
Randy
Your face
Johnson.
is that pigeon.
I was thinking, it should probably be like Randy Watson too. It should be standing over.
That's what. Hey, that's what
Should be
freaking.
like, this is why you're single. Sexual chocolate is closed. Yeah. It's going to be my future. Living in my own basement, watching Birdemic.
And if you're lucky, Birdemic 2.
Yep, the sequel.
1 year from now, Brad's back.
It's really not that bad, guys.
It's also illegal to tickle a woman
Where?
in Virginia.
Oh, that's
Still,
ridiculous.
Well,
yeah.
because tickling leads to oral and anal sex.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It really does.
At least in my history.
Yeah.
It really does.
That's usually how I approach women at a bar. You buy them 2 drinks,
Yeah.
and then you tickle them and start at the small of their back. Yeah. Okay. What you want to do is you
Next
want to make
thing.
them almost feel like they're going to piss. So immediately the genitals are on their mind.
Yeah.
All right. And then you work your way down. Then you go for the armpit. So at that point, the breasts are perky.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm giving this some thought. And then you tickle away, and then they drop to their knees, and then nature takes over.
Hold on. Drop to their knees.
You know what's
All right, I
amazing?
got it, bro.
That was almost verbatim the opening commentary to Leaving Neverland.
You know, that's the most horrendously named special because nobody left.
Nobody left.
Not the same way they came in anyway.
No, they all left bow-legged.
So
I don't think it was from Michael, though. It had to be from Bubbles.
I
we're
feel like
moving on to Arkansas.
I feel like Craig's getting frustrated now. Did you expect this show to go any different?
I'm not getting frustrated at all.
No, he's mad because he can finally read the outline. He knows where we're supposed to be
I
going.
can see everything.
All of a sudden, you're being the rudder of the show. That's a job that I've had since day one.
Right?
I'm sitting here just throwing shit out, coming up with reasons to tickle women for blowjobs. I'm basically encouraging you to go out and assault somebody a different way.
Yeah.
Have you thought of that one, kids?
Brad just turned into sexual Yoda. Tickling leads to fun. Fun leads to arousal. Arousal leads to anal.
Anal leads to suffering.
I'm gonna take Brad's line. That's the title of the show.
Yes,
Anal leads to suffering.
Come on, dude.
I'm starting to know why Sith is the same letters as shit now.
Mike Tyson named it.
And why they wanted revenge.
Mike Tyson named this.
That's when they fight back. Revenge of the shit.
Oh man. Holy shit. This fucking topic just fucking went out of control, man. I love it. What the fuck, man?
Oh, shit.
All right.
That Wookiee girl's actually step 3 in the tickle blowjob.
Oh, shit.
Your father never told you fuck your ass. I. Sorry, dude. Oh, dude.
So we're moving on to Arkansas.
Okay.
There's no smooth segue from that.
No, there is.
There is. Use anal lube. Oh, shit.
I remember once when I was a kid, I hung out at my friend's house, and he's like, "Hey, you want to see something?" And you remember you always had that one friend that just wanted to like reveal all of his parents' secret things.
Yeah.
He'd take you in there, open his mom's underwear drawer, and just let you peruse it. He took me in there, and he had a drawer, and the drawer contained two things: a video cassette and a tub of something, and the tub just said "Love Butter."
That's the best shit on the market, dude.
And then he pops the videotape into the VCR, and it's his mom and dad in like what appears to be the best swingers party Eastern Long Island has ever seen.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And the problem was and I'll never reveal their names because it got on the off chance my mother is
no, of
listening
course
to this.
not. Yeah.
My mother knew these people. And we socialized with these people.
Really?
Like we broke bread. And yet they broke a lot more. Like you hear music in the background, and you see people drinking, and it just looks like they're filming a cocktail party. And then out of nowhere, they walk in buck fucking naked,
Really?
and like his dick's swinging, and he's acting like he's just hosting another cocktail party.
It was a cocktail party, all right?
I saw.
Good thing you didn't watch it all the way through to the part where your
Oh no, we
parents
did.
showed
We
up.
watched it. Well, I figured.
I was thinking, Mom, Dad.
Oh, that part? No, not my family. Actually, it was all their neighbors and who I didn't know. And I'm thankful for that. I was waiting for like my third grade teacher to come walking in.
That's fucked up.
That reminds me, we're having a party June 8th at the house.
That's right. Can't wait. I'll bring
Brad
the butter.
shows up bare ass. He's like, what the fuck?
I'll bring the butter.
I'm just going to go lay on your bed with all the coats waiting for Rayanne to fall on me.
Okay, moving on.
There it is.
Half the time I say it, it's just to make Craig uncomfortable. The other half is because I'm secretly in love with Craig.
It's not a secret. It's not a secret. Go ahead, Craig. Move us along.
In Arkansas, you can't honk your horn near a sandwich shop after 9 p.m.
Specifically sandwiches?
Specifically a sandwich shop after 9 p.m.
What if you're pizza and subs?
Ooh.
Now, what I'm thinking is what
Trick question. There is no good pizza in Arkansas.
Now, what the hell prompted this law? I mean, what could have happened for that law to...
I've got a theory. I
What
actually
is
gave
it?
this some thought. I've been doing a lot of talking, I'm sorry, guys, but I think that there was a lot of towns that only had one type of restaurant.
Yep.
They had a little deli counter place, and that was like where everybody got their coffee in the morning and where they got their dinner on Friday or whatever. And I think that people were probably honking because that was the only place in town
Right.
to go.
They were seeing their
They
friends
knew
or whoever.
everybody, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could. Yep.
And,
Then
Poot,
Dave's got a better theory.
and Poot that lived upstairs was like, I'm tired of this shit. I don't care how good the dang sandwiches is.
We got the meats, sandwiches.
Yeah. Now this law.
See, this contradicts what Brad was just trying to explain a few minutes ago.
Yep. But this next law, this should be imposed in New Jersey.
Oh my God!
Sleeveless shirts are banned in public.
Definitely. It should be. It should actually be banned around here too.
Anywhere.
It should be a federal law.
I need to know why the people who wear sleeveless shirts and crop tops and thongs are all the people that shouldn't. Like, what is possessing people who actually should be wearing these things from doing it?
It's called defeat.
I'll show you.
I had a friend who we were probably about 24, 25. Now this is an age where you don't do these things anymore.
He's coming over tomorrow night, by the way.
I'm not going to say his name. But
I know
he got a tattoo.
Yeah, you're right on the mark, by the way.
And he got a tattoo, and the second he got the tattoo, he went home and cut the sleeves off of all of his shirts.
He wanted people to see.
He wanted people to see it. Which at first I could see going out and getting a couple of sleeveless shirts, so you want to show it off, whatever. That's fine. But it turned into this thing where he started cutting sleeves off of every shirt he owns. Dress shirts.
Come on.
Oh no, I'm dead serious. And he literally, to this day, even in dead winter, will walk around with no sleeves on his shirts. He cuts the sleeves off of every shirt he owns. Whether it's you could go and buy a nice dress, like button-down shirt, not like a suit shirt, but a button-down shirt, and he will cut the sleeves off.
Well, it's his thing, man.
Has it become a habit now from
Well,
way back when?
I mean, it's kind of became his thing,
that's his-
but
Should-
it
should
all
have at least
started
some-
because
he wanted to
he
show off
wanted
the tat.
to show
Should
off
have
the
at least
tattoo.
a little bit of muscle tone though when you do it, a little bit,
The
just a
only
little
curves you see, most people that wear sleeveless shirts is like stretch marks.
bit. Yeah, no
They've
shit.
all got that stretch marks that look like their arms have just been through the rigors of hell. like I'm massively muscular. No, I'm not. Yeah, massively muscular. No, I'm not.
This shoulder looks like the top of the soft serve ice cream machine, and the arms look like the soft serve coming out.
All right, Matt, if you're listening, and I know you are because there ain't shit to do in Texas, I got to ask, what's up with the law against selling your eyeballs?
It's illegal to sell eyeballs.
You can give them away.
Yeah, technically, I guess
Wait, is
you
it
could.
you
to
can
sell your
bequeath them.
eyeballs or just eyeballs in
Your
general?
eyeballs. I
Yeah.
imagine it's a national law that it's illegal to sell somebody else's.
Yeah, it'd be kind of fucked up if you sold somebody your eyeballs for like $1 million and they hand you like $1 bill and say, "Yeah, it's all there."
Craig's eyes, you get change.
Craig's eyes are changed, dude. Look at those things.
Paying you to take his eyeballs.
Now, I can get
Honestly, with your vision, you should just go weld shit.
Just fucking
no mask, no
worries.
just get the reflection of the sun on those things. You'll freaking be like, you'll be like
I will weld
Cyclops.
shit.
That's what's going to happen.
You're like Cyclops.
You're going to die, and you're going to be like, go to the light, and you're not going to see it.
The only person wandering around with his hands out in front of him.
You're going to end up in a purgatory known as New Jersey. Fucking Valaris going around with fucking bass boost.
Two Pioneer house speakers in my back seat.
You just mount them to your glasses, kid.
Craig, are you in heaven? No, I'm in with Iowa.
Now,
I think they enacted that law because they don't like their neighbors. They're like, you're going to have to see, because if you go to New Mexico, it's illegal for a woman to appear unshaven in public.
yes.
I know Brad's all about this.
Yep. I can get behind this one.
Yeah, me too.
They don't define what parts are unshaven.
No, they don't.
They don't. Now we live in an area where we've got a lot of
Mustaches.
yeah. I don't know why I was trying to be delicate. We buried that long time ago.
I think it's the natural reaction to adapting to the weather.
Makes sense.
It's also fucking gross.
I like a good shave. as you can tell by my face, not on my face.
What about on hers?
I don't give a fuck about her face. It's not what I'm talking about. I don't give a shit about that.
But this is just in public.
Yeah, at home you could be fucking Bushmaster. It doesn't matter.
I'm curious as to how many of the women affected by this are Native American. Because like they went up to him and they were like, "How the fuck do you walk around like that?"
She's naked. No, she's wearing bearskin.
With all that dry air, I feel like a brush fire waiting to happen.
Man.
Seriously.
No, don't run! Don't run! Don't run!
Those split ends are gonna fucking be the end of us.
Give one of these women corduroy pants and just watch. It's like the 4th of July in Bristol.
That's how they started fires.
Only you can help prevent forest fire.
Only you.
Meanwhile, half the women in Rhode Island are called Sir.
Holy shit.
Hey, you can't laugh at other states if we can't laugh at our own.
That's true.
Right?
And also New Mexico.
And New Mexico. But
What about Idaho?
Idaho, yeah.
It's illegal for a man to give his fiance, not girlfriend, not mistress,
No, yeah.
not stranger.
Fiance.
It's illegal for a man to give his fiance a box of candy that weighs more than 50 pounds. So this is a problem in Idaho.
Or it was at least.
Yeah, well, they cracked down.
Yeah.
Where
chocolate
on
potatoes?
earth are they selling boxes of candy in excess of 50 pounds?
I wish I knew.
Gosh.
I would buy a 50-pound box of candy in a heartbeat.
Oh, you have.
No, it's funny.
You've bought 5 10-pound boxes of fucking candy. Same shit.
I'm pretty sure Wilford Brimley lives in Idaho. Like it's a state known for 50-pound boxes of candy and potatoes. Yeah. Fucking diabetes central, baby.
Definitely diabetes central.
Mike would be safe there because he can't lift anything over 50 pounds anyway.
I just eat my way around, dude. Don't worry about it.
And that's cumulative throughout the week.
The median age in Idaho is 12. Everyone's just dying off from the diabetes. Yeah. Oh, you can just edit that one out. That was bad.
No, it's fine. I mean, the people,
Swing
they
and a
tried to
miss.
get to the census, but they get no feet. You know, I'm laughing now. You guys are going to be wheeling me in next year.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
But the best is in Washington. Now, this was the best. This was my favorite one. Was you can be arrested or fined for harassing Bigfoot.
Harassing.
All right,
In Rhode
motherfuckers.
Island, we call it domestic assault.
I'm pissing off Mike. Making me mad.
So that, for one thing, all those people in that fucking Finding Bigfoot show should be arrested.
Of course.
That guy out in the woods yelling, woo, 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 woo.
Yeah, that's harassment. That's fucking
Banging
Bigfoot
sticks
harassment.
against trees.
That's Bigfoot harassment, man.
Harassing Bigfoot constantly. We
what I
saw you
wanna
busting that Bigfoot's balls. Get over here.
Yeah, hi, I'm Bigfoot. I want to press charges.
Who's the plaintiff in all these cases?
It's fucking one of the
I'm just picturing Judge Judy. Sir! Did you or did you not harass the hairy man?
I was just trying to tickle him to get a blowjob.
Oh, shit.
One more for the road. We got to mention at least half the table is Portuguese.
Yep.
So the least trackable law of all time,
especially there.
especially there. Mike, it's only right that you read this one.
Urinating in the ocean is against the law in Portugal. Go figure.
Who the fuck is enforcing this?
The People's.
Just put a fucking fence around the entire island.
Yeah, no
right now.
Yeah, no
Everybody's
shit.
got their wieners through the chain link.
Yeah, that ain't gonna stop us partying.
Just rope off that big long beach on the side of Spain.
Yeah.
They're all swimming into the other side of the Mediterranean just to take a leak.
You're gonna go out at least 3 miles to international waters. To take a piss.
Well, they can't do it because basically since like
What are
day
you
one,
polluting
what do
the
they do?
Atlantic by taking a leak?
Yeah, no shit. I mean, that pretty much all they do is eat fish, right? They're on an island.
Yeah, but
You don't
still,
want to be pissing on your food. Well, unless
no, but you dump mercury and fucking motor oil in it.
yeah,
That's cool.
They're
yeah,
all
it's
being
different.
saying,
about
like,
that.
fuck Greece. I hope this goes through the Strait of Gibraltar.
Where's this current going? Where's this current going? What the fuck?
Choke on that, Crete.
Everybody's watching him, cheering him on. Yeah, piss, fucking do it. Fuck Crete.
The guy swims back in from 3 miles out, comes back with like a weird cross and a loaf of sweetbread.
Holy crap, kid! You just fucking. That's like my
Me
my
and
whole
Mike were on a-
growing up. That's my whole growing up right there. You just.
Me
fucking-
and Mike were on a camping trip in fucking New Hampshire with a bunch of guys one time. A whole shitload of us went partying in the woods, having a blast. So it's a morning.
Why?
And-
Why you gotta bring this
And
up?
fucking
Why?
no, I'm not bringing that up, but I'm gonna now.
Oh, okay. Please do. I think we did before, but whatever.
But so I get up, everybody's like, just getting out of their tents in the morning, and this one guy, Kevin, he's down by the river, and he's brushing his teeth, washing his face, and he's brushing his teeth, right? And so he's like, "Hey, good morning," and I look. And fucking 10 feet up the river is this guy, Joe, taking a piss into the river.
Brushing his teeth, fucking down the river. Oh my god!
I'm like, what the fuck?
I love camping.
He
Camping's
was
the
so
best.
fucking mad. Kevin was so fucking mad.
Fucking, I get-
What the fuck?
He's so funny too, man. When he gets
Fish
pissed
shit
off.
in that water constantly doesn't phase us.
Yeah, no.
Let's go swimming in there. A whale barfed minutes ago and it washed up on shore, and you guys are like, "Oh, look at the sea foam."
Yeah.
Okay, you just like, "Oh, my throat hurts. I took in too much salt water today." You swallowed whale jizz. Yes, you did.
Yep.
There's a dolphin out there going, "Oh."
But the story Mike was referring to.
Thanks, Greg. Go ahead, do it. We mentioned this before, but it's
did
good.
we?
Yeah, but it's all right. It's
I
good.
don't know.
It's good. It's good. If it was you, dude, I would mention it like every fucking episode.
Don't let him talk his way out of it. Tell the
no,
story.
no, I'm not. Totally not.
So we got there.
Totally not.
That first night we got there, it was late. It was, wasn't too late, but we all started drinking as soon as we got there, and then realized like, oh shit, it's getting dark. Probably should have set our tents up already. So we're all just sitting there like on a pile of stuff with no tent up. It's dark out.
Never pitch a tent
So-
in the dark, dude. Unless,
So we set our tent up. Now this place, there's campsites, but there's not. It's weird. So you try to find a place where people have camped before because there's already fire pits built and all this stuff.
And this is
but
real
you're in
camping.
the woods. You're in the middle of nowhere. So we set up and fucking. Apparently, we set our tent up where the other people were going to the bathroom that camped before us, right?
dude, it was
But
terrible.
so this was not. So we realized it. We're like, oh my god. We start cleaning the area out because we're like, what the fuck? But we're already set up. So we're like, son of a bitch. We're like, we'll move it in the morning. So we go to sleep, right? So now we wake up in the morning. I'm fucking so hungover, but I
We're
wake
all
up
fucking wrecked,
and
man.
Mike looks at me with this like, hey, and like leans his head on his shoulder, like on his fist, like with his elbow on the ground. He's like, hey, good morning. And I look, and he's got a fucking maxi pad.
A used maxi pad attached to my fucking arm.
On his
Like,
forearm.
like it was fucking like hockey equipment. Fucking shit was all bloody and everything, just like hockey equipment.
Long-time listeners will remember this from Landfill Charlie's episode.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
yes,
what it was.
that's
That's what it was.
That
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
worth repeating.
Yeah, definitely.
Continue,
man.
sir.
I never fucking laughed so hard in my fucking
I
life.
did too. I have
No,
to
he
admit.
could. He was like right away. He's like, he's like, what the?
I was like, what the fuck? I threw it down and I could not stop laughing.
best
After
thing
that
was-
was the best.
all I could think of is when we went into the tent and went to sleep. One of us tracked it in on our shoes.
Yeah. It had
So
to
this
be.
thing migrated from our feet.
Well,
No, it started somewhere else.
It definitely started somewhere else.
But it migrated from Mike's foot all the way up his body.
That thing just slurped
He
up my
slept
body.
with it in his sleeping bag. Oh, yeah. It was fucking the worst and the best thing I ever seen in my life.
It was great. I loved it. It was awesome. And then we get out of the tent and we see like fucking 19 piles of shit.
Just toilet paper and everything.
Toilet paper everywhere. Fucking
Like, what the
fuck, man? Never pitch your tent. At
See,
night.
if you were camping in Portugal, everyone would just piss the shit in the water. You'd be
Yeah,
fine.
no shit.
Yeah.
In defiance of law.
Camping is great.
You should have noticed that it was real easy to get those stakes in the ground.
Walking, it was like squish, squish.
This was effortless. And so aromatic.
Oh, shit.
Nice glasses.
Brad, you're a genius. And whoever fucking created those things on Craig's face is a genius. Too.
All right.
She worked for NASA or Hubble or something fucking like that.
So let's move off of these laws that are ridiculous. And let's talk about laws that we would make. What laws do you think should be made?
God damn. You know, we have an outline, and yet this is still not an easy question.
No, it's not.
I think, I mean, I guess we can be serious for a moment. We've been laughing our balls off for like an hour.
Yeah. Yep.
Christ, yeah.
And then we all turned away from looking at Craig.
And it was really hard.
I feel like there's just glasses in this glowing white light.
It's just odd seeing glasses around someone's neck.
I'm going to go outside and look up and discover 3 new planets.
This Adam's apple's got 2020 right now.
That's his neck thing. That's not his apple, dude. I think he's fucking.
I'm bedazzling my neck thing, and that's it. I'm going to just come in with this thing.
Just get a tattoo on it, kid, of like a little Pac-Man. Make it a little Pac-Man. No?
That thing shows up on Doppler.
Ironically, it doesn't show up on his glasses.
It's the tiniest fucking thing.
Ironically, you still can't see it.
It's just right the center of my neck, so it becomes this fucking center of attention.
Not anymore. Not after those glasses. Dude.
That's why I bought him.
Casts a
That's why I
shadow.
bought him. That's why I bought him.
Oh shit! What the fuck? Ironically, even with those glasses, he still doesn't see that fucking thing on his neck.
Oh, fuck you guys. So what law do you think should be made, dickhead?
Yeah, let's get serious.
Yeah,
for a
let's
moment.
get serious.
I think there should be a social media ban for anyone under 18. I think you
good
should
idea.
just take it away from kids because they've done no good with it. And I'm
Yeah.
not being grouchy old guy on the porch. You know,
Get off the lawn.
Exactly.
No,
but
man.
what
No.
have they done good with it? They've started sexting each other and getting knocked up at
Yeah, I would say
aggressively earlier
16 and under.
But what the fuck, man? If we had it at that age,
You know what? I used to sex the old-fashioned way. I used to write a girl a letter and then
Yeah.
fold it into a triangle.
Oh, really?
and
You
give
went
it
through
to
all
her
that?
at her locker before gym class. And then
grab
her.
that was the way I expressed in my handwriting that I wanted to have sex with her.
so that's what my problem was. I never wrote the note. I just went right fucking. I just skipped
Just
the note.
lunged.
Yeah, it was called rape.
Yeah.
It's so
But
fucking
now
rare how things
everything's like,
change.
hey, show me your tits. And, you know,
Yeah.
they have the means to do it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm just seeing enough of kids at that age that they're dumb enough to be like, okay, he's so popular.
Yeah.
You know, so I think 16 is fine. I say 18.
I would say,
I say when they're on their
16.
own. When you can handle your life, you can handle being social. That's the way I look at it.
That just knocks out everyone under 30 right now.
Yeah.
So our target audience is just
How about
Gone.
an under 18 Facebook page.
What?
No,
No,
because
no,
then
because
it
they'll
would
find
be,
a way to abuse
because
it.
it would be loaded with 65-year-old dudes.
Shut up. I'm trying to get this thing off the ground.
That's what you talk to your dick every day.
It would
Trying
take
to
Mike
get
a-
you off the ground.
you guys are just ruining a fucking dream of mine. Stop.
Nah,
It would take Mike a fortnight to set up his profile.
Fuck you, man. It's Fallout, bro.
He puts his profile information on the back of a donkey and sends it on his way.
No, but I agree with you. To see
On your
like
way, do me proud.
12-year-old kids on it and stuff like that, it's not good.
No, it's terrible.
You know, it's not good. And sometimes you get things like some of them are posting things and they don't even get it. They're just posting it because they think it's funny.
But they don't understand.
And they don't understand what it's saying, and then you watch it and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what?
that was-
I'm going to bring up something that you're not going to be happy with, but your niece has been
My niece
posting.
has done it.
Yeah.
No,
She's
I
posting
know.
some shit that I'm like, I don't know, kid.
Yeah.
But
It's
dude,
not their
but-
opinion.
Yeah.
But it's not.
too
It's
young to
not
have
just
their
his niece. It's everyone's niece. It's
And-
everyone's
and-
nephews. It's
And I've
fucking all
talked to
over
her
the
about it
place.
1,000 times.
Doesn't matter.
And she says
It
to me,
don't matter.
she's like, well, no, I didn't know that.
Didn't mean
I
it
said,
like
no,
that."
you knew that, Taryn. I said, it just, you can't do that. It's not right. And I get it. She's 16.
They
you know
can't
what I mean? She's
think
not,
beyond that moment.
She's
They
not
don't
thinking
understand.
beyond that.
She's
yeah.
the oldest she's ever been.
Yeah.
And so she thinks she's the most adult she's ever been. And
Which is
and-
true.
And which is true. But, you know, we all thought we owned the world at 18.
Yeah.
I got in trouble in school once because
And
my,
she's never fought me on it. She's,
No,
you know what I
she
mean? She's never
knows.
fought me on it. I just tell her, that's inappropriate.
why do you
She's
think
like,
she's
"What?"
posting it? To get a
Yeah.
reaction.
Yeah.
And she got one. You know, but I mean, I remember I was in English class my senior year, and my teacher was really annoyed with my fucking class. And he came out and he goes, you know, your generation didn't invent sex. And I actually mumble under my breath, but we perfected it.
He was just trying to get you in the back room, bro.
Well, this
Show
guy
you
maybe.
how
This
to
guy maybe.
perfect
But
it.
you know what? He
This
gave,
guy maybe.
he gave me a look like, you stupid son of a bitch. You're everything that's wrong with society.
Yeah.
And you know what?
And we're doing the same.
I'm a
thing
Gen
now.
Xer, and yeah, we at the time we were.
That's a given, though. Yeah,
These
I mean,
fucking millennials that talk about being millennials. The one thing Gen X kids never did was talk about being Gen X kids.
Yeah.
These millennials love referring to themselves as millennials and
love-
talking about their struggles.
you know
love
why?
being
It's
a victim.
You're right. It's because other people have labeled them as millennial.
And you know what? It's also
you know,
because
and-
as a collective whole, they suck.
yeah, yeah.
I have
right,
never
there you go.
seen a group of people that deserve to be stereotyped and grouped together more than the fucking millennials that call themselves millennials.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, hi, I'm Brad. I never once said, hi, I'm Brad and I'm Gen X and I'm angry about student loans. Oh, by the way, millennials, yeah, we had them too.
My father would have slapped him across the
I
face.
still have them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just finished paying mine, and my next birthday is 50.
Yeah.
Okay, my next big one. Not my
if
next
a kid,
one. but
if
my
a
next
kid
big
ever
one.
said that to my father, he would slap him across the face with a big giant pile of cow dung. He would. He would.
While Mike was in the corner spelling college with a K.
And drinking moonshine.
But you know what?
The
I'm
good
going to
shit,
bounce
mind
off
you.
of that, with what you said about that. And I'm going to say bring the drinking age down to 18 for military service members.
Done.
Not for everybody. If you've got a military, if you're serving in the military, you have a military ID, you can have a beer.
I disagree. I think it should always be 18.
I agree.
'Cause we're doing it
I
anyway.
agree with Brad,
yeah, they're
too.
doing
It
they're
should be
doing it
18
anyway. I
straight
get it.
up.
But I mean, if you want to try to enforce it and be like, oh, 21's the age, that's
know what-
fine.
you know what
But
kind of-
you know what? If you're old enough to go and fight, you can have a beer.
In my opinion, you're old enough to go and vote.
Yeah,
Then you should be
you
able
should,
to have
yeah,
a beer.
you should be
Right.
able to have a beer.
90%, I said this a few episodes ago, and I'm sorry I'm hijacking this, but a few episodes ago I said one of the things that having a great fake ID took away from me was the sport of drinking.
Yep.
We take the sport out of drinking for kids and the idea that they're getting away with something. You watch how little the
Exactly.
18 to 21 alcohol deaths and disasters stop.
All of
Yep.
our parents, when all of our parents were younger, the drinking age was 18.
Unless if my parent, where my parents came from, was 10.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. No, but think about it.
not
But they're
It
also
was- it
peeing
was
in the
18.
ocean.
'Cause it was 21 like a long time ago, and then it went to 18,
Yeah.
Yeah, it did for a while.
And it stayed at 18 for a long time. And that was because of World War II and stuff.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And then they brought it back up. And I'll never forget, my uncle turned 18 and the law changed the following day.
That fucking
So he was able to
sucks.
go to the bar
For a day.
for the evening and had to leave at midnight
Oh my God.
That's ridiculous.
because he wasn't old enough
My
anymore.
dad was in that weird range. He was
Yep.
able to drink. He was in Vietnam serving in the Air Force, able to drink, came home, the law changed and he couldn't drink anymore.
Yeah.
That's bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Sucks.
It was it's silliness, but I'm with you 100% on your approach. If
think-
you're old enough to do the government to send you to go off
course.
to war, or if you can vote,
course.
like Brad said, you should be able
The
to have
government
a
should
beer.
allow you to have
If
a
you're
drink.
impacting this country as an adult, then
Positive.
you should
Yes.
be treated as an
That's
adult.
all.
To me, like all factors, involved in shit. The main thing, if you're gonna go off to fight and give your life for your country, whatever age it is, you should be legally able to do anything.
I think 18 is a cutoff.
anything
It's
that's-
the age of consent. It's
Right.
the age you're
Well,
allowed to
yeah,
vote.
that's-
I mean, it's a
You
general
become
age
an
of consent.
adult.
You're an adult at 18. You can go off on your own and sign a lease and live in an apartment and do whatever you have to do.
Yes.
You're not a minor anymore. So let them have a beer. In my opinion, you want to cut down on the underage drinking, stop making it a race to 21.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just absurd. It's absurd to me that fucking anyone that can give their life for their country can't do certain things because of their age. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Imagine
no,
this
it
kid
is.
goes
ridiculous
overseas,
to me.
has his legs blown off,
Yeah.
his whole face is fucked up, he can't see, he comes home and he can't have a beer.
And he's
Yeah,
still got
fuck
3
that.
years before he can have a beer.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
It makes no
it's-
fucking
it's silliness.
sense, man.
No,
It
it's
is.
silliness.
My
And it
dad
is.
shoved beers, and not shoved, but I mean, my dad wasn't a heavy drinker, but whenever he had a beer at a family event, I always got a swig of it.
Yeah.
And I'd nurse it like the 12-year-old bitch that I was.
Yep.
Okay. And then at 14, it went down a little easier. And by 16, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
And now
and-
here we are.
And now here we are. I'm at 43, and I forgot when my next birthday was.
You forgot 7 years that haven't even happened yet.
And I know they're going to be uneventful.
But like you said,
Call it a hunch.
you take the sport out of it and it kind of dies down.
They always say that youth is wasted on the young. I've never felt that more than I do now.
Well, think about it. It might. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No,
bro.
it's fine. Go.
No, but I was gonna say, like, think about it. Fucking all these countries legalizing drugs and everything, and all overdoses and shit have gone way down.
Yeah, because again, it's not a novelty if
Right.
the government is allowing you to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Half the fun of doing drugs is getting away with it.
Right.
Okay, and I'm not talking like heavy shit. You're into heroin, you got issues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
exactly.
But if
You're not in that for the sport.
but if you're like, but
Fuck you, Death.
if you're like a 47-year-old guy and you have the ability to get a medical marijuana card and you still choose to buy it independently,
Fuck you, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, this is getting too personal. What's
Yeah, okay.
next? What else we got going on?
okay, this is right up your alley. I was going to say, I think instead of just getting rid of clergy and firing them, I think we should stone them.
Yes.
I agree.
And not just all clergy, as much as I would love to take out the Catholic Church.
Come on.
Stoning of all clergy who hurt children.
Yes, I agree.
I think we should go for all that. And actually, then I want to stone everybody who still supports the church after clergy hurt children.
I agree. I agree. Fucking
it's-
church is in trouble.
I lump
man.
in anybody who hurts children, especially like sexual predators.
Oh my god,
those
I would love
people
to,
will
like,
never
just,
change.
like,
They'll never
rip
get
their,
reformed.
Like, rip their fucking
Fuck them.
toenails and fingernails off.
Do you guys remember the movie No Escape
No.
with Ray Liotta? There was
Oh, that's why.
so, no.
Oh, is that the one where the rooftop fucking? He was
It's like,
a cop,
Karen, there's no
was he a
escape,
cop?
Karen.
Karen, this fucking turkey's got my job, Karen. No, it was set in the future, and like prisons had been privatized, and he got sent to an island prison. They basically dumped the worst people on this island, and forget about them.
So that same movie Stone Cold Steve
Yeah,
Austin was in.
and Stallone was
It's
in.
called The Condemned. It was made after No
The
Escape.
Rock.
It was after the fact. Anyway, that's my thought.
I have seen it.
You take these,
I know,
you take
that
these
figures, yeah.
scumbags, you dump them on an island, but you put a bunch of apex predators on there.
Yeah,
with
but
them.
they did that
Yeah.
before. It's called Australia. There was a bunch of apex predators already there.
That's
The
fair.
apex predators were there already, and then they just threw them on there. And look what happened. We don't want that to happen again. Now do it, mate.
Wow, you
I have-
rendered Dave speechless.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm kidding.
Mommy.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea. It's definitely a good idea.
I'm gonna get to mine because this
All right,
is
you do
serious.
that. All right. Oh, we're getting serious now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pickles should be outlawed on sandwiches. They should all be placed on the side.
You're fucked up.
Right next to olives.
This guy
Yeah,
with fucking
no.
pickles on a sandwich.
Why would you put it on the sandwich? So the whole thing, it doesn't matter. Chicken, burger, whatever the fuck it is. Now it just tastes like pickle.
You're fucked
So
up.
fucking put it on the side. It's gross. It's fucking stupid.
This kid, I swear to God, ever since I fucking like I think the first day I met this kid, he talked about that. Fucking pickles.
Fucking pickles are the worst.
Fucking
I love
jeez, I love pickles,
I like
man.
pickles alone. Because know why? They make everything else taste like pickles. So why would I want it mashed with my other
So
shit?
does mustard.
That's why I
Yeah.
don't eat it. Fucking hate
So
mustard.
what do you put on your
Mustard's
sandwiches?
disgusting.
What do you put on your sandwiches?
Ketchup, mayonnaise.
Then it's gonna taste like ketchup.
No.
Not true.
Yeah.
What do you put on
It
a hot dog?
depends. It depends on how
It
much
adds
you put
to-
on.
It adds to
You
it.
put on a hot dog,
Mustard
his
and
lips.
pickles make it taste like.
For years, I put mayonnaise on hot dogs.
No, I wouldn't do. I don't go. I put.
For years, Craig's
ketchup
getting
on it.
mayonnaise out of hot
Ketchup
dogs.
sucks. Ketchup is just sugar water.
Sold.
It is sugar. It's all sugar, man.
I started eating
sucks.
mustard when I was 25, and then somebody gave me a hot dog and said, "Eat this," and I'm like, "Okay," and I ate the hot dog with mustard. I'm like, "Oh, what is this magic I've been missing out on?"
Yeah,
For years,
no.
I never ate mustard because everything you put it on, it just tastes like
Tastes like mustard.
Yeah. So I'm with you. No, there was nothing else to the story. I'm just agreeing.
I
no,
love pickles,
that-
man.
that
I
was-
love
that
fucking
was
pickles
it.
on anything.
Pickles his whole life. Like, hi, I'm Dave. Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Craig. Where do you stand on pickles?
Pretty much.
Man.
When you're 18 and not a second sooner.
See, I'm gonna kind of. I don't want to go down the road of like silly, but I think traffic laws should apply in grocery stores.
He just,
I agree with you
he doesn't want to
100%.
go down the road of silly. He
All
says.
retail.
Yeah,
All retail.
people with fucking shopping carts.
If you're pushing a shopping cart,
don't just stop in the lane. Don't park across.
don't walk on the left side. You fucking asshole.
Yeah, but I mean, you can tell these people to do all this shit, but we need to come up with a way to actually fucking get it done. Like,
Stop
if
and
they
cop.
don't do it,
Wait.
You know what I'm saying, Brad?
Wait.
go ahead. Go ahead,
What is
Brad.
going to happen in New Jersey?
The shopping cart.
Walmart jug handles just to get to the fucking processed flour on the left.
God damn, I gotta go through frozen foods to get to the fucking deli. Some Middle Eastern guy's gonna put the soda in your cart for you.
But I agree with. Oh shit!
Is it racist if it's true?
I agree with you 100%, man. I fucking hate that when I'm walking down the aisle and like, why are you
Get
in
the
front of
fuck
me?
out of my way.
Or someone just leaves their carriage and goes to the way other end of the fucking aisle.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck that, man. I'm constantly, I just
move people's
yeah,
shit
just
out of
push
the way.
shit out of the
It's
way.
the
I'm
grocery
upset
store
with
more
that.
than anywhere else. If I go to like Home Depot or Lowe's, it's like, for me, it's Mad Max. Like, you've got fucking hardware and shit.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hit you.
Yeah, out
know
of
what's
the way.
know
man.
what the best is?
Out of the way.
Know what I like to do? Because it's just funny. Is when you're in that situation, they walk away from their cart, just grab something off the shelf and put it in their cart. just grab it and throw it in their cart. And then you get to the thing and they're loading it onto the shelf. Either they don't realize it's there or they do. They're like, well, I don't remember buying it. Maybe I need it.
I'm still getting my head around the idea of like fucking Mad Max and Home Depot. I'm just trying to imagine Tina Turner at the end of the fucking lighting aisle. We don't need another hero.
All the lights go on and off.
Strobes. She's just screaming Thunderdome.
No, it's the worst. You ever walk?
Meanwhile, I'm running around the lighting section on the shoulders of a
Fucking-
big autistic kid.
Fucking all the guys were fucking driving around in the forklifts, all fucking like done up. Fucking
Spikes on them.
spikes on the side of them. And shit.
Iron Maiden video on top of a forklift.
Shoulder pads made out of tires.
Backing up.
I need a hinge.
I am the Knight Rider. No, you're Cliff from fucking Hardware. Fuck out out of here.
Weren't you at Lowe's Thunderdome last week?
Oh man, what
I'm so glad we got serious.
I know, right? What the fuck? Isn't that how this whole segment started? We gotta get serious.
All right,
Oh my
I see the word euthanasia. Craig, go.
I can't.
I think euthanasia should be legal.
Should be legal.
Should be legal for anyone suffering from terminal illness or suffering from, like, it might not be a terminal illness, but something that's painful and that's not going to go away.
Yeah,
like
if
what? I mean, like someone
pancreatic
with
cancer, last stages.
well, no,
or
but that's
something like
terminal.
that.
That's terminal illness. But I'm talking
But-
about somebody with, like someone suffering from severe back pain, neck pain,
No,
like severe. Because there's people that have it that it's not going to go away. You know, you've had
today.
yeah.
I know. You
You
never
know?
know.
But I mean, are you willing? If your doctor's like, you're going to live a very long life, but it's going to suck for you. Are you going to just give up your life?
No, well, no, but my point about this whole thing is, I also wrote with restrictions, with obvious restrictions.
Well, it depends if
You would need to. You can't just walk in your doctor's office and say, "Hey, you know what? Psst, give me the needle." You know,
it would be fucking pretty cool though.
Way too expensive.
No, but
I mean, the population fucking would.
I
just
think
go
you
up,
should have to-
down,
you
up,
should have
down,
to
It would be all fucked up all over.
see
the
a
place.
psychiatrist. You know, see your doctor. Is it something that can be fixed eventually?
Do you see the flaw in your plan? Because that basic thinking is exactly what we do now. Every time, within the 30 seconds since you mentioned that you want to give restrictions, we've come up with a whole bunch of them. Psychiatrists
no. Yeah,
and all
yeah.
of the other
Yeah,
things
he's
that can
giving both
happen
sides
in
of
the
the story,
conversation.
is what he's
Well,
doing.
they're not of right mind, therefore I should step in. And guess what? You've just recreated
Yeah,
the
you're
system
actually
you've
Well, I
already
guess-
got.
no,
story. You're
yeah, I
giving
see-
the whole
I-
story. You're giving both sides.
No, I see.
is
I
what's
see,
going
I
on.
see what you're saying. No, but I mean,
I
someone
agree with
gets-
you. Just for the
someone-
record,
Obviously,
I
you
agree
see
with
what
you.
he's saying.
but
You can see everything.
But I
with those
understand what
fucking
you're saying.
things.
and
But I think the
that is-
instant you create a caveat, that's it.
But you have to, because you can't. Someone gets cancer and they say, you know, yeah, it's treatable, and you know, it's possibly that it's treatable, and you know, what do you want to do? And they're like, just kill me now.
Well, that's
When
just
it's-
it. If
you
I'm
know-
in stage 2, very
Yeah.
curable, but I don't want to deal with chemo, can I just go and get offed? In my
you go.
opinion, yes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
I agree
no.
with you. I think,
I
you
think-
know
I
what?
think you're
It's
right.
my life. It's my death.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I'd rather do it within a doctor's confines and in a hospital situation where everybody can prepare than for me to like off myself on a whim and then have
Yeah.
my kids
But my-
traumatize them for life.
I see
My-
a Kevorkian
But
comeback.
My thing is, I don't think you should be able to walk into a doctor's office and say, you know what, I'm sad. Give me that needle. You know what I mean?
Nobody's arguing that there's going to be a conversation.
Yeah.
But if you sign all the right paperwork and you're of sound mind and
18.
body, if I can
18
sign for
or
a
older.
house, if I can sign my life
Yeah,
away for
no,
a million
you-
other things,
actually, you're
then
right.
I can
I agree.
sign my life away.
Yeah.
That's how Brad thinks now. If I can sign for a house, I can just do whatever the fuck I
It
want
is
with
the
my
only
body.
real adult decision I've ever made. I've
go.
leased my cars. I have rented my homes. I finally own
right,
something, and
man.
you know what? Now I'm for suicide.
And welcome to the club, bro.
hear
Welcome
ya.
to the club,
No,
bro.
but no, you're right. I guess
Welcome.
Poetry by Brad.
I think terminal illness, I don't think there's much of a debate. I think a lot of people
no,
agree.
yeah.
That way you can kind of go on your own terms. Makes
Yeah.
total sense.
Without suffering through the pain, because you know, terminal illness, you could say, hey, you know what? I'm feeling pretty good today. I would rather sit with my family right now and,
That's
just
a tough
and
one,
log
man.
out.
That's
You
a
know?
tough one because people will get
Rather
into
than-
like like fucking how it's going to depend on how far along they are and
I don't
fucking-
want, yeah.
you
but
know what I mean. It's going
do
to
they
get
want to
into
be
stupid shit.
choking, struggling, trying to breathe in agony? No,
No,
So,
definitely not, man.
so-
I watched my aunt go through it
Yeah.
last week. I watched my grandmother do it fucking last year, and it was horrible.
It's terrible. I'd
terrible.
much rather just say, hey, you know what? The chemo didn't work. Let's pack it up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's inevitable for everybody, but if you have a condition where it's going to happen sooner than it should, you should be able to go out on your own terms.
Yes.
And there's also something to be said for what Brad mentioned, people that just off themselves and their family finds them, whatever. Like I've dealt with those situations. Like I've actually walked into physical environments where this has happened.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I as well.
And I've had to deal with family members or next of kin, whoever, through the process, and it's awful. Losing someone is never easy, but when it's something like that that's unexpected and it's someone that you never,
it's so much tougher.
Just the timing,
I can imagine, man.
and the situation has impacts beyond just the person.
Yeah.
Something what Craig's talking about, you can control the environment, control the consequences. You can prepare your family, friends, whoever. This is what's going to happen on my terms.
On my terms,
I don't see a problem with it.
No, no, not at all.
Holy shit!
That's
Can I
the way
book
it
a
should be
session
done.
with you, dude?
Can we raise a glass to Mike's final episode?
Yes. I don't think. I don't know. I don't
See,
think,
something else
I don't think
I've thought of,
that fucking weapon.
not
would-
as serious, but I think once you get to a certain age, most laws shouldn't apply to you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
If you're not hurting someone else, fuck it.
I think once you hit 80,
I think there should be a fuck it age legally on the books.
once you hit
I'm
80,
there. Am I there yet? Yeah. I gotta be there. Come
I
on,
think
man.
once you hit 80, you should just be like, fuck it. Just let them.
Holy
leave 'em
crap.
alone.
Let them
Wait.
do whatever they want. As long as they're not hurting someone else,
I got
who
another
fucking cares?
I got
Yeah.
another birthday coming next month.
Yep, you do.
Are you sure? We're still in March. You sure you're good? You're good?
You're gonna make it.
I don't know, man.
No, but I
Fucking
mean,
old. Damn.
it sucks to talk about people, killing themselves
it.
in a diet, But I would much rather somebody say, "Hey, you know what?
I
I
want to
want to go
die.
out instead of hang on for 3 more months in agony
Yeah,
and
it
suffering.
sucks. I know.
Fuck it. Just
But
go.
a lot of
Let's
times,
go now.
A lot of times,
see that?
those people hang on just for their loved ones.
their loved
too,
ones, yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
let's go to Cameron's
seen-
Irish pub,
have
rip
you
one
seen
off,
that?
and
Yeah,
then go.
exactly. But like Dave said, it should be up to them, up to the family. It's obviously whatever they, I say after 18, and it's fucking, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You feel you're gonna die, and you're suffering.
Have you seen the guy?
Hope
Was
how
it
to you,
was it
man.
New
It
Zealand
sucks.
or Newfoundland or something like that? I don't know. Was it
Newfoundland? Where is Newfoundland?
Holy
Fucking
crap!
leave me alone.
Jesus Christ!
Is that next to Nova Scotia?
It was a new place. Isn't that where Socrates is from?
Socrates. Portugal. Isn't that where they piss in the water?
No, but I'm saying,
Don't they piss in the
some
beach?
guy
Yeah.
created this machine. It's literally just
That's pronounced McHiney.
In Newfoundland, it is anyway.
Scottish rape device.
Scottish rape device.
but it's basically like putting your exhaust in the window so you can die from that carbamonique scene. Right?
He didn't even get the letters right on that.
I love that he pushes through and still tries to tell his story.
Oh no, it's getting out. It's getting out.
Those glasses do make you look
It's-
smarter anyway.
It's a machine, and it's basically
Look.
it's a tube you lay in it, like almost like a coffin, and it's got they have options. It can be closed or it can be open, and they'll bring it anywhere. So if you want to do it looking over the mountains, they'll put it there, and you hop inside, and only the person inside alone can control it. And you hit the button, and it just slowly pumps carbon monoxide into the machine.
I thought you were
mixed
gonna
with
say it was
mixed
gonna
with
launch
other
you out
mixed
somewhere.
with other stuff, so that slowly you drift off to sleep, and then within 15 minutes you're gone.
That's what happened in Star Trek too to fucking Spock, wasn't it? No.
Yeah. No, but
I would do it, but I would Spock myself right off of Uncle Mike's cliff. I'd be down there with Dito.
But I mean, and I guess so far only 4 people have used it, but he made it. It's a 3D printable model.
So what are the reviews like on Yelp?
What's funny is Yelp was
There
the
isn't
last
any.
thing anybody ever heard.
No stars. I'm not doing this.
Yelp. The last thing anybody ever heard.
Yeah, big on finaltripadvisor.com.
No reviews. Odd.
William Shatner said, just push the button.
Wouldn't that be it though? No reviews, 5 stars.
Yeah.
It all worked.
It all worked out. Yep. You imagine this, like getting inside of it, and the guy's like, "Hey, you just want to rate this on your way?" Like your final thing is like a fucking pop-up screen. just ask you to rate this.
Just
Yeah,
hit the
and it's
green
one button.
button.
You gotta smear your
Yeah.
hand across.
Just hit the green button before you pass out. All right. What the fuck, man?
When you're gasping.
Says we track cookies at the bottom. You say yes or no.
But what the fuck?
If you're not a robot, click this green button.
Capture.
Click on all the pictures with the stop sign in it.
Fucking capture. That is so fucked
All the
up.
boxes with a headstone.
Click all the boxes with your name on there.
How many boxes have a dad that never hugged you?
Oh my god! Come on. But seriously, man. Seriously though.
No, not seriously.
on.
That is out the fucking window tonight.
This company's got 6 surveys that have never been filled out.
Proudly endorsed by no one.
We found the fucking perfect euthanasia device. It's
Muffled
fucking
voice.
great.
Quick, tell your friends.
Hurry up, Made by Nike, no air.
Yeah, just don't it.
Just did it.
Just did it.
Just did it. That was it. Holy shit.
Oh, fucking A, man.
Let's finish this up. Yeah. If we're gonna end anything,
Let's just chester this episode.
Let's just commit
Yeah.
suicide on
What
this
I'd like
fucking
you to do
episode.
is I'd like you to take this episode and all 4 of us and put us in a tube.
Lunches.
But first, let's fill out a fucking survey.
yeah, we can't go any further. Let's just end this.
I'll be the
What's
douchebag.
ironic is that you mentioned cookies before. That's exactly what would put me in the.
I know, right?
That would do it.
Gurgle 1 for satisfaction.
That's it.
Let's do some housekeeping.
Great. Most of you have Kevorkian, and I have Famous Amos. I just have the dark
You're
specter
so-
of Famous Amos and Mrs. Field.
The doctor looks at Brad and goes, 1 lump or 2?
Just pouring Gatorade over my face.
Where are you going for your crossover? Nabisco.
Oh, them Kibler elves.
The doctor just hands Brad a pack of Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, go in that room. I'll
Throw
be in.
sugar cubes at him for 20 minutes.
I'll be in to clean up in a minute. Go in there and eat these.
Give me the little Debbie and a roll of toilet paper.
That reminds me of fucking one night.
It just swells up like Violet from Willy Wonka.
Brad laying on a couch, holding his feet in a formaldehyde jaws.
I'm coming for you, Wilford.
Bunch of fucking midgets come out. Oompa, oompa, doopity.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
What
you
would
guys?
happen when your pancreas turns on you? All right, you want to do housekeeping? You
Yes,
say? All
let's
right.
just do this.
All right, well, this was fun, boys.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
Most of the time, we're coming into housekeeping saying, maybe we pushed it too far. Maybe we went a little too long. You know what? We actually cut ourselves off tonight.
Yeah,
and I
we
want to
did.
acknowledge that to the crowd. We have probably 3 or 4 more topics on this outline. We knew tonight was going to be random.
Yeah.
I don't think we expected to be as fruitful as it was.
No.
So, boys, in the middle, we haven't toasted in weeks.
Good
Our
fucking
first
job, brother.
and
Cheers.
final toast of the evening
Good job.
to an episode well done.
Well done.
Okay, talking about things that the internet has abused for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're right on that fucking bandwagon.
Pile on.
I'm so glad I grabbed that second 30-pack.
Yeah. Right.
Agreed. And we're not done drinking.
I know.
No.
I'm just glad that the show has finally caught up to like the edginess of BuzzFeed.
Oh,
Whatever,
shit.
millennials. That's not yours either. But anyway, so let's do a little housekeeping. Social media. We're going to be doing more on social media. I think we've come to a consensus at this table that all four of us need to be involved.
Yes.
So you're going to hear more from Dave, more from Mike, more from Craig, and probably less from me because I'm the only one who's been doing it so far. But anyway, we're going to go. It's at NTS_podcast on Facebook, on Twitter, on, I guess, Instagram.
Yeah,
Technically,
we're gonna
there.
step up the Instagram page.
Well, we got to do anything to step it up. One place you want to find us, don't look for us on LinkedIn. We're not there. This is not a career, kids.
How about a swag, Brad?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned it. Creepy, obscene, perv voice boy.
Thank you.
We are going to be having new T-shirts. Brad has been secretly, and yes, I'm referring to myself in the third person. Brad has been secretly working on some new T-shirts, and not
Nice.
just the ones that accommodate Dave's oversized head.
Thank God you joined this team, man, because I was like, damn, my head is big.
Shirts.
Yeah.
Like him and her, and they have to stand side by side.
No, it's actually front and back, but it's just one
Just
head.
me on the back.
I was going to do a pair of like those like fundies that fit like both the husband and the wife, but they're going to be like horizontal and vertical to accommodate Rayanne.
And this.
But yeah, we're going to be getting some new things on there. Not only we're going to get the long-awaited meat beef T-shirt.
Yes.
It's coming.
Meat
I actually
beef.
found a cartoon graphic of a colon, and I put eyes on it.
Why you looking at me, Brad?
I don't know. You
All
can't
right.
ignore what's
All
staring.
right, thank you.
Eyes on it.
Kind of answered
But
itself, didn't it?
but where can we find that stuff?
You can go over to teespring.com, and I'm not giving you the URL. It is just way too unwieldy.
Yeah,
but
just
you
go to
go over
Teespring.
into the little search box to the top right. If you don't know how to do this, seriously, the internet is 25 fucking years old. But go to the search box.
The
and-
alphabet is a lot older than that.
That's right. Mike
Thank you.
knows 22 of them.
Yes.
But
But
you
it's
go over
not
to the
all-
Needless to Say swag shop. I think that encompasses most of the letters Mike knows. Search for that.
Yep.
You're going to see some cool things. You're going to see some old things. You're going to see some three-headed things. You're going to see a bunch of stuff that we're getting rid of. We got some new merch coming. It's going to be phone cases. It's going to be koozies. It's going to be mugs. It's going to be travel mugs. It's going to
Nice.
be hoodies.
But most importantly, we got four-headed things, though.
Yes, four-headed.
Right.
Wait a minute. Who are you inviting?
Well, all right. It's Dave, five-headed things.
That's it. All
All
right.
right, thanks, bro.
I also want to throw a few shouts out. We always throw shouts out to the same people. I want to throw a few shouts out to people we haven't mentioned in a while. They haven't given us any music to listen to. They haven't given us any links. But I want to throw a few shouts out to One Slack Mind, to Deceased,
Yes.
Definitely.
to Grand Evolution,
And Psycho.
Cycle, and
Oh,
all
shit.
the other bands and everybody that has allowed us to play our music, your music on our show. I honestly thank you for trusting us with it. I realize you're creating art, we're creating noise, but ultimately we're all trying to get into this like celebrity world together. So, you know what, guys? Thank you, and we're not going to play any of your music now, but hopefully in the next few weeks we'll be doing just that. So, with that, I have nothing else to say. Mike, take us out.
Needless to say, we said it.